If I told you the things I've seen on my ways, if I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single role.
Hey, welcome. You are watching Happy Jack's RPG. My name is Jason. You are here for episode 6 of City of Towers. I've got a little bit more to say about that, but let's go around and meet our players, one of whom is a little bit delayed. Our lovely gray screen of Nyx, played by Claire, but she will be joining us directly. So, Eli, who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm Eli, and I'm just sitting here. But I play Alaebas, the Paladin, waiting to get screwed up by some time, I guess.
Sure. Okay, that makes sense. Rob? Sure. Okay.
I'm Rob. I'm playing... Why am I blanking on my character's name? Ventuz. I have it right here. Sorry.
Now, you can't get mad at me when that happens to me.
No, well, I mean, I can.
Okay, well...
Yeah, I don't care
I
about
just don't get to
anybody
call
else.
you a big old hypocrite.
That's
No, he's
shocking.
an elephantocrit.
Oh, I'm about to crit all over this thing. So what am I doing? Yeah, I'm actually here, unlike Claire. Burn.
Okay, sick burn.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Okay, Pooja?
Hi, I am Pooja. I'm playing Zay, a changeling arcane duelist who cannot do the phasing mantis dance.
That's true.
As we established last time.
That is true. I mean, you did it. It just needed some tweaking.
I mean, doing it badly, I think, is the same as not being able to do it.
Who has the best Claire impersonation to pretend to be? I'll move your window over to Claire's window. And no, we're not doing that.
As we all disavow all knowledge of Claire.
All right. So, as I said, you're here for session 6 of our Dungeon World-ish, Eberron-ish actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. You can catch up on past episodes at happyjacks.org/City of Towers. And you can find all of our shows at happyjacks.org/shows. And that's everything we've ever done is all available there. Most of it's on YouTube. You can catch it in podcast form. Most of the stuff, there are lots of options to go check stuff out. So last time we were gallivanting, really, I think is the best way to put it. We were gallivanting around the woods and trying to interact with a I can't keep chat up. You guys are ridiculous.
Run the game. Don't look at chat.
I know. The group went into the woods to help some folks. It was a complicated situation of trying to figure out a train job. That took you into the woods. You met some mushroom people who were having trouble with rabid mantids all of a sudden. And, recently these predator species actually went a little mad and they've just been attacking people for no reason rather than normal sort of hunting behavior.
Rather than attacking people to eat them, they've just been attacking people.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are predators, right? Like they do things that predators do, but they have been exhibiting strange behavior of just attacking willy-nilly, sometimes even fighting each other, which is pretty rare. And you all went in to find out why, and also continued on to the original plan of finding the maintenance shed that this train goes by on the cliff, and see, is there something we can use here to stop the train, steal the hot rock that runs the steam engine, and have discovered that. So the train, we already knew the train runs on a combination of hot rock steam engine, this like alchemical rock, and it is levitated by a lightning elemental. The lightning rail is what this train system is called, and it they like bind an elemental is the wrong term. They like have a contract. Yeah, they contract an elemental that like comes to work with them. And elementals want strange things. They're not like humanoid people, right? They don't want the same things we want. So that
Don't kink shame.
I'm just saying they're different. That's different is not bad. But what we've noticed is what you all picked up on is the lightning elemental that's been ripping back and forth here and sort of maintaining the lightning rail from whatever that city is all the way back to Sharn, is interfering with some of the nature elementals in the woods, in the shimmering woods that this goes by. It's a real thick, old growth, like evergreen kind of forest, kind of like the image behind Rob. That's a good example of what we're talking about. And there were some altercations. There's a lot of stuff. If you want to go back and watch 5 episodes, I'm not going to recap all of it. But
And how do we know what we're doing?
I don't know how to answer that.
You take copious notes with accurate timekeeping.
Yes, this is the only way to have a meaningful campaign.
Oh, is this a meaningful campaign?
The real truth is, do we really know what we're doing?
I do.
Oh,
And
Nope.
and ancillary to all of that, you all were originally hired by a brother and sister who came from the island of Welldown to try and get their city back into the commerce of things, which was cut out because their previous contacts didn't like that a portion of the city were sapient undead folks. So that's a thing that they've hired you to make the train group look bad so the other group can find it and look good. There was a whole convoluted thing around that. But your friends, these orc brother and sister, Guar and Stiv, are in the town, this sort of like Venice-looking town across the fjord. You know, you're up on a cliff. There's a fjord down below you, and if you just like walk out to the cliff, you can see the town that you came from. It's not very far away. Just like a couple miles across the water. So they're back there waiting for you. You've been sending messages back and forth. You found the maintenance shed had a little bit of timey-wimey bullshit going on. There was some nonsense that is undetermined and still to be figured out. But we ended with, I believe, Ventuz had a pretty clear vision into tomorrow and saw the train approaching, and there was some sort of ambush set up. He wasn't able to tell whose ambush it was, or even if it was you all setting the ambush, but something was happening with the train. And I think that's where, am I forgetting something big?
No, I think that was it. I mean,
That
there's a
sounds
lot
about
of
right.
detail
Right.
in there that, awesome things that people are doing. So go back and watch or listen to all the episodes.
Yes.
Definitely that.
We've actually had a lot of really fun character moments, and if you get a chance to check that out, you won't be disappointed. Okay, so the scene we have to open up on is that afternoon. It was getting late, and the time shed I think is probably the easiest way to refer to that, is Ventuz has been exploring that. Ventuz saw he could see like different time of day out some of the windows. I think we last saw Alaebas indoors with Ventuz, or did you go outside with the changelings who had turned into mantids?
Yeah, once they got done with their boogie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think after that, we all went back inside, and that's when Ventuz started explaining what he thought he connected to.
Okay. So the one thing I'm going to do, just because I don't want to have a mysterious thing or speak on Claire's behalf. So Claire's character, I believe, is the one who won the dance-off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to say Nyx comes in, shifts back to their... I don't think they go around as a changeling most of the time, right? Aren't they like a elf or something? They had like a default humanoid shape.
I believe so.
They go back to their default humanoid shape, or whatever that was, and actually just looks exhausted, right? Like something more than just the physical activity was at work there, and there's like magical resistance at play, and they like kind of just curl up inside the time shed and go to sleep. So it's not like they came in and collapsed. They just were like, I'm tired. And, Pooja.
Are we going to do stars and wishes?
Yes, thank you for reminding me. So last time we didn't have time to do our stars and wishes because we were on a speed round episode. Knowing that she wasn't going to be here on time, Claire messaged her stars and wishes. She wanted to mention that Rob has been role-playing an elephant person in a very interesting way. And the wish is to keep playing because we're having fun. And I have to agree on those points. So since Claire started, let's go anti-clockwise to Pooja.
I am.
Oh, that's clockwise. Sorry.
Okay. So counterclockwise is the other way.
Yeah, I want to go clockwise to Pooja. I want to go to Pooja next.
Oh, thank you, Master Vidar.
Yep.
I do feel like a star, and I'm sure Rob wishes he could be taller.
Yep. At least a little bit taller.
I am going to say that my star is for Claire in the dance-off.
That was epic, for sure.
It was epic. And I love that we had to have a Phasing Mantis dance-off in general. And
yeah, that was one of those moments as a GM where like, I didn't plan this. I didn't know there was a territorial dance that had to be performed. I couldn't have prepared that and had it gone as well. That's just one of those great moments in gaming where you're like, this is what's happening now. So well done, the both of you, on that.
Thank you. And my wish is a viewer-inspired wish that there be more Ropey.
Ropey, yes.
Yeah. I was actually trying to figure out a way to bring him in last time, but it just, I am not good enough.
Right.
I was not good enough to figure out a way.
For folks who might not know, and just to complete our introductions, Ropey is the GMPC that I'm playing. No. Rob has a magic rope that can, send itself up and tie it and then pull itself up, and it's animate, right? It can follow basic directions. And
basically his familiar.
It's my familiar.
Yes, and Rob was enjoying that interaction so much, it has been upgraded to his magical familiar. And that's maybe the most unique familiar I've ever come across.
That's saying something.
I did have somebody play an animate broom as a familiar, like a,
Yeah,
like
but that's
Fantasia
just
style?
cribbing off of Fantasia.
Right, yeah, seen it. We've seen it. So Ropey is great. I was thrown off a little bit, Pooja, because a friend of mine is named Roby, Robe.
No.
Roby. And I was like, how do you know Roby? He's not in this.
He is now.
Okay. let's go to Rob.
Okay, we're still going anti-clockwise, right?
What'd you say?
We're still going
Anti-counterclockwise.
anti-clockwise.
No, we're going clockwise to Rob.
It's anti-counterclockwise.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
What did I say?
I don't know. I don't listen.
I know.
So, star. This is one that I kind of like. I thought about it coming out of last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, and this is something that I've always been impressed with, but I'm still ruminating on how exactly I feel about it. Jason, I'm gonna give you my star, despite my personal feelings against you.
Yeah. Okay.
And
thank you for that caveat.
And basically you take the failures that we have, or the 6 minuses, and you still somehow try to turn them into a success, but it's a success that makes us feel uncomfortable. Like we still kind of failed in ourselves, and you throw us curveballs that, but I mean, great things happen around it, and it's not like we fall, we die, we get hurt. Like there's none of that, and it seems like it's success on the outside until like you start scratching the surface a little bit. So now we have got timey-wimey BS, because like, you know, and one of the ways that we initially discovered that was through one of my failures.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I give you a star for that, even though I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
Fair enough. Thank you.
And my wish, I wish I knew what we were doing. Like I'm in an impasse going, I think we're still supposed to take care of the train, because taking care of the train figures out all the nature stuff, but are we still taking care of and that's just a me thing. So I'm curious to see where it goes. It's not a negative, but I'm just like, I wish for clarity.
Yeah.
For myself.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, in spite of this being about a train, you are not being railroaded in this instance. So
correct. Yes. Yes.
I will give you props to that dad joke. On today, this Father's Day.
Thank you.
A lot of steam behind it.
and we should say Happy Father's Day to Rob, actual father. That's
my kids don't acknowledge me. It's fine.
Okay, fair enough. And
you have to act like you have a high, like you're more mature than them rather than less.
Oh, I'm telling them what not to do. Should I not? Is that the wrong way to go about it? I'll start reading books.
Moving on. Eli?
I think the table is stars, including Jason.
Even
like what Rob was saying, even Jason, throw him in there. I think there's a lot of unique situations that I've never really had in games in this game, and they've all been fun. And that's what I think, like Rob is saying, we've had the dice gods in our favor. I'm trying to sway them right now, but they have not been. And like Rob said, we've gotten ourselves into I think kind of sticky situations, but they've always turned out fun and always turned out intriguing. So great job, everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And my wish is, like Claire's, just keep playing the game. It's fun.
Copy that. Okay. Well, why don't we we'll jump back in, but when I say that, you all are in charge of what happens next. So we pick up at the time shed, which I really wish I had thought of a better name in the last 2 weeks, and I don't have one. That's what I got.
That would require planning. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. It could be the Time Shack.
Time Shack?
It's a little
Time Shack,
place.
baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, we're at the that maintenance shed that has some strange timey-wimey effects. The three of you are gathered around. We know that Nyx is not in crisis. Nyx has had a strenuous magical experience and needs a nap. That's something that we understand. So we don't have to panic. We're like, oh my God, we have to save Nyx. Like anytime there's a player missing, it feels like that's what always happens in the story is like, oh, they're gone. We have to go find them. Like, no, we know why they're not here. They're busy. They had a very good reason to not be here right now. We don't have to bend the story around that. So, what do you do?
Well, now that all the mantises are gone,
Yes, they have left the
so
area.
I'm going to change back to like my previous form,
Mm-hmm.
my assistant form that I had been using,
Right.
and put my clothes back on.
Oh yeah, I thought your clothes changed with you. Didn't they?
I didn't think
We
so.
had been talking about like they had not.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I couldn't remember what we decided, so that's fine. Yeah, get dressed again, and yeah. Otherwise,
and,
it is.
You know, I would really like to be in a form that can communicate verbally
Sure.
and not through interpretive dance.
Oh, it's also worth noting that you all wanted to get in touch with Gwar and Stiv. Stiv is the like, you're not sure if she's a wizard or a sorcerer or what, but she's also undead, and you know, just worth remembering that was the case. Gwar is not undead. He's more of a big lump, but is, you know, helpful for carrying heavy things, and you know, you can't be good at everything. So the two of them were waiting in town to hear from you. They had sent you a message. You received it. It got like stuck in the time bubble for a second, and then you heard, you know, they just wanted an update. They wanted to hear from you. And then Alaebas, I think you were going to send a bird back to them.
Yeah, and I failed terribly.
Oh no, you rolled a 6-.
Yeah, the bird got there, but something tragic happened.
Yeah, we had a little off-screen badness that we the audience know that Stiv and Gwar are being chased through alleyways by about a dozen townsfolk, and that's inconvenient for them. As we, you know, we sort of like have the bird cam of the bird like coming along, you know, like the majestic sort of ravens at the top of you know, Game of Thrones episodes, and sort of swooping around, and then it turns into you know, Fast and Furious on foot, running through town. So what we know as characters is the reply is not forthcoming, and you wait a few minutes like, oh yeah, and she has like a magic spell that she can communicate with you. You should have heard by now, and it's not forthcoming. So that's what we know in character is you sent a bird. You're not totally sure what happened to that because you haven't heard back from them yet.
Is that something like normally through protocol? Like if somebody sends a message and then I send a message back, they'd be like, all right, cool, I got it. Or
Yeah,
could it
especially if
just
it's
be
a
like,
spell. Like for
like
her,
I
it's
went
such
to blame it.
No, I mean, it's an easy spell for her to say, like, okay, thanks for checking in. That's, you know, yeah, she would definitely get in touch because you can't just text, you know, it's the most convenient way to be in contact with someone. Oh, a rules fix that I goofed up. The hit points that you are supposed to have is actually your whole constitution score, not the bonus. Your whole constitution score plus the bonus from your class. So that was something that I goofed up.
Let's fight everything.
Yeah, right. So reset that. Let's also, I think everyone was basically at full hit points after the ridiculous cure wounds that Alaebas did. So let's just say we're all at full hit points. And just so I have kind of the range, Pooja, how many hit points do you have?
21. 21.
And Rob?
As opposed to like the 9 I thought I had.
Yeah, 21 is better. It's almost 2.5 times better, in fact.
Yes. I have 2 more hit points than the biggest single damage that you could do to me.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
You keep trying to kill me, so stop it. No, I'm kidding. So I've got, let me do math, 19 hit points.
19, okay. 19, 21, and Eli?
I think I have 22, right? Because it was 10 plus what my previous con was.
Yeah, what's your whole constitution score?
It was 12.
Oh, really? I thought your con was higher than that.
Mm-mm.
Okay. the yeah, okay.
Because I'm a paladin, I think we were jimmying my numbers.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with that. We'll go with 22 for now.
All right.
Yeah, it is supposed to be 10 plus your Constitution score. So, oh, and if folks are curious too, there's a free resource to play Dungeon World at dungeonworldsrd.com. It's free and legal. It's not stolen. It's not pirated. It's like legitimately out there for you to play it for free. So you can check that out if you like. It's essentially PBTA with its own twist on some things. So, and then we are further twisted from there because that's how we do. All right.
Really, a Happy Jacks campaign if it isn't at least 50% homebrewed?
Yeah, I mean, what are you even doing? So that's I think that's where we open up. It's like 4 p.m. We're getting that late afternoon light. The west, so actually, yeah, you're at the east side of a forest. So like if you walk out of the forest, you'd be going east and you'd look down the cliff. The fjord is to the east of you, and the city is just that town. It's not really a city, but it's a big town across the fjord. That's east. The sun is setting in the west, and that means it's getting dark really quickly because you're in a very dense forest, and the sun is all the way through all those other trees. So 4 p.m, it is starting to get dark. What are you doing?
So I did send my message to Stiv and Guar. They haven't responded yet, but are we going to try this without them, or do we think we need their assistance?
I think we should go back at least to prepare. I don't want to spend the night out here and get possibly ambushed by more of those mantises.
But we need to be back here by, what was it, Jason? 10:20 in order to
That was
make
your vision,
sure...
yeah. It was like sometime after the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah, there's something,
Well, we have that fly wand, so we can just pull the boat up to the base of the cliff here and fly up. And Ropey can help us, right?
Yeah, I mean, actually, you could cast Levitate on the boat and just lift all of you up. Like, that's fine. Yeah.
All right.
If there were more than 4 of you, it would start to be like we would want to, I don't know, do a check or something, but like, whatever. I don't want the door to be the obstacle. Like, it's not the point of the story. The cliff.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably letting them know what's going on, seeing what kind of resources they've discovered, because while I've got a feeling we're pretty well equipped, the intense hatred and power of that elemental is something I haven't come across before.
You went back into your history like it was nothing. Literally in the time it took the train to pass.
Let's agree to disagree, or let's agree to not know what happened.
Nope.
No.
We all saw it. It is 2 and a sleeping against you here. If we could resurrect the Bushman, I'm sure he would tell us the same thing.
That's fair. Either way, I think getting more people or getting more beings involved, and is there a way that without taking too much time we can get the mushroom folk in on it? And how can we really dig in on this? I think that taking the time to go back there to plan our courses of action, see what they've grabbed, but know that we have to be back here tomorrow. Even if it's not us in the ambush, to at least see the ambush.
Okay.
Because I'm still not convinced it's us, frankly.
Who else would it be, though?
I have no idea, but I've learned to stop asking questions and just see which way the flow of the river takes us.
Alaebas?
I think we should go back. I think it's a good idea. Then Alaebas will start getting his things. Like if he would have put anything down. I think we would have to be here by sunup to at least try to get over to the mushroom people to get some sort of conversation going to see if they'll even help us.
But that still gives us plenty of time to go and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Do you want to carry Nyx?
Yeah, I got it. That's fine.
Cool. Because
Easy.
she seems to be out for the count for a moment.
I mean, she
Or
did
they-
do an
yeah.
amazing dance routine that I feel like is very physically exerting.
I mean, it's a rough one. It's really hard. And you can't just do the steps, you have to feel the steps.
Also, we can just levitate Nyx. Just, wand them up.
Is it permanent charges? Like, is it?
No,
keep
I mean, it
going?
would run out eventually, but it's not like you have three wishes or something. It's a bunch.
It is a plot appropriate number of charges.
Yeah. Like,
Well,
when used in a stressful situation, we will roll 2d6 and determine the outcome of the charges.
I don't.
So
like
only has like 2 charges left then, right? How have you been rolling?
No.
that. I don't know. That sounds about right. So, what I will do is I will ask Ropey to weave under them.
Oh, make like a little hammock kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then levitate. And actually, Ropey can do that itself. We don't need the levitation, right? Because
Well-
it can just go. It can go up, and it can
Yeah, but how
go
would
down.
it move?
I can pull it.
I don't. But Ropey doesn't like levitate.
Well, I thought that's what magical rope did.
Well,
I thought it just-
it still
it
has
goes
to
straight.
anchor onto something.
Oh.
It's still like a normal robe, not like carpet from Aladdin.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if it's on the ground, it will go straight up, and you could climb up into air, but it's like touching the ground in that case. Right?
Gotcha.
Does
Well,
that
what
make
if it's
sense?
touching me?
Sure. I mean, I don't really care that much. Let's move Nyx and get where we're going. Like this is
No, Jason. Details.
This is
Details
not the
make
point of the
this game.
story. We make a rope
I do
hammock.
like the idea that Ropey is a rope hammock now, and it's attached to you like a balloon is to a child's wrist.
Yeah, this is up. We're now playing up.
No, I'm calling it for tone. No, we're not. So the 4 of you are, you leave the shack and you head out towards the cliff. Your boat is south of here a little ways down the cliff, so it depends on whether you want to go down to the boat, whether you want to. I mean, you're supposed to return the boat. It was a rental. On the other hand, like you could do whatever you want. So, what do you want to do?
I mean, we rented the boat from a place on the dock where we got the boat,
Mm-hmm.
so we can just we'll extend the rental for another day.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with people coming after us for boat rental issues.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure if you go back to him tomorrow, he's going to be like, dude, what the hell? And you just pay him for 2 days and he's fine. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. So, we're just going to like, how are you getting back to the town? What's the plan there from up on the cliff?
Can we levitate ourselves down?
Yes.
Sweet.
Can we levitate ourselves down at an angle since we're up and we can look down on the city? That we could just like a hypotenuse?
Yeah, I think that's doable. I just want something for you all to stand on. Because I think the premise of the levitation thing is it levitates something. And so either we're levitating Alaebas and everyone's sitting on his shoulders, or a log and everyone is sitting on the log. I want something to visualize for that.
Can we all just hang on to Ropey like one armed and go down?
Yes.
Zip line.
Well, doesn't matter. Okay. We levitate down across the fjord. You don't drop down in the dock area because you don't want to have to deal with that guy yet. But you can see.
Wait, did we just leave the? I'm sorry to interrupt, but did we just leave the boat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to get back there tomorrow?
I don't
then?
know. I asked
We'll
you guys
rent-
what you wanted to do.
We'll rent another boat. We'll pay for the boat. I mean, it's not our money. It's the undead money. So
100%.
we
True.
can. That boat's there. We know that boat's there. We may need to get a quick getaway, so we keep that boat there in reserve. That's our backup boat. And then we go
Okay.
get
You know
another-
what? No,
Backup
this
boat
is,
makes sense.
This is too complicated. I'm making an executive decision. It's not that difficult to hike down, especially since you're not going through the woods and finding mantids and dodging trains or whatever else. You hike down the coast, levitate down to the boat, bring the boat back into town, move on.
Is that the
from there.
railroad here?
Yes, because
Yeah.
you're fucking ridiculous.
You're fucking ridiculous. And I have to swallow my curse words because my kids are around.
I don't. My dog doesn't pick up on curse words very well, so that's
That's what
Frida
you
is used to my sailor's mouth.
yeah. So we get back into the docks. The rowboat is turned in, and the guy says, "Thanks. I hope you had a good day." And
We'll pick it back up again tomorrow.
oh, okay, yeah, I can hold it for you. It'll be right here. You feel free to come and grab it. It's just another day, whatever. Take care of it tomorrow.
Cool.
And then
Do you know
we
what time
find
the
our
train
people.
passes this area over here?
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys know
Endpoints.
that it's a hard and fast
okay.
schedule. That it's like every what'd we say, like 4 hours or something. It's going one way or the other. During normal day, it doesn't run all night. It's not that kind of world where it's just from like 8 to 8 probably. It's going back and forth, and
we do know when it stops at each station, but we don't know exactly when it's going to pass certain points because
that's harder to pinpoint. Yeah.
because of the time manipulation that happens.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, is it's always on time at the stations, which seems a little bit impossible. Now that it's one of these things that's never like occurred to you to think about before, because it never came up. And for most people, it's just like, oh yeah, the train's always on time. That's fine. That's because House Orion does a good job of getting people where they need to go. It seems like maybe they're cheating a little bit.
I mean, somebody is. And also, like, murdering creatures, which, not so great.
Not that it matters, but do we think they know that the murdering is happening on the lightning rail? Or at least, I don't want to speak for all elementals, but specifically this one?
Honestly, unless they're looking for it, there's no reason they would know.
Oh, although I will, just for the sake of background information, Rob, I think it was you that saw that like made eye contact with the lightning elemental as it went by when the big nature elemental was out, and you were having a conversation with that. That lightning elemental, like, consciously and intentionally wrecked that nature elemental and you, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm
Okay.
on the full, this one is in capital A-hole.
Yes. Okay. I just want to make sure that was clear, that was not an accident. It wasn't passive. It was that guy being a dick.
Yeah, but I don't want to subsume that it's all lightning elementals.
It
Like
might
there
not
may be like very peaceful,
Right.
genteel rolling hills where all the bunnies come up to see the train because
Un-
they get little fuzzy electric shocks.
Unlikely, but it's
Don't crush my dreams.
It's safer to wonder, yes, are most lightning elementals like this? And it's also safe to wonder, does House Orion know that this is happening? They might not. Like, if you're just on the train, you don't know how the train is affecting the woods nearby. They might
And you
know.
have to be looking for, like, in terms of the other supernatural creature murder, you'd have to be looking for it to know what's happening. And odds are, so long as the train runs on time and they don't have any accidents, House Orion's not looking for it.
Yeah. And also to clarify, it hasn't really been, aside from that nature elemental that you saw, it hasn't really been murdering. It's made the mantids go a little wonky, right? It messed with the mantids, and the mantids have been doing murders.
Yeah, but it consciously murdered Bushman.
The nature elemental, yes. I just wanted to mention that it's not like a train of death. Just like
it might be. It might be.
That's
We
right. It's
don't
transitive
know.
property. Transitive
Okay.
property. It does that. They do that.
Do you mean
Therefore, it did that.
Do you mean the transitive property?
Transitive property.
Yeah.
It
We're
is
all
now.
glad that I said that. You're welcome.
Yep.
We're all going to pretend none of this conversation happened.
Hey, Claire.
Hi!
Good
I
timing.
heard the transitive property joke.
Oh, good.
And I am disappointed.
I'm glad you heard
Disappointed
of
you
it.
didn't see it.
Oh, snap.
We've spent 40 minutes figuring out how to get down a cliff, so good timing.
I was like, fuckers, I've got a ring of falling. Bye!
I mean, we Ropey made you a hammock to come with.
That's true. We said that Nyx got very sleepy after the dance off, and
Yes.
like you'd been magically overcome with exhaustion, and so you had to
Sure.
lay down and take a nap.
I like it.
But we'll have you wake up as we're like rowing back into the harbor of this town. Oh man, I don't remember what it was called.
Hold on, I took notes.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
I'm pretending like I'm taking notes.
I respect that.
Well, accurate record keeping is the only way to have a successful campaign.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot that we have a saying called "That's so dragon."
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, that's so dragon. That is so not dragon. That we forgot about That's so dragon.
It's
I don't have the
Rolandport?
city name.
Nope, I don't have anything either.
Rolandport is the only thing I have that might work.
It sounds.
that might be right.
Possible.
Yeah, Trollenport. Yeah, Trollenport. So the Trollenport is a pretty big fishing town, more than a village, right? It's a pretty successful import-export kind of spot. The fjord makes a nice protected port for bigger ships to come in and out. Like it's deep enough that bigger ships can come in and out and not get whacked around in a storm. So they've made a pretty good setup that way. And you bring your little, rowboat back in. The guy says, "Yep, I'll hold it here for you tomorrow. No problem. We'll just settle up when you're done using it." And you head back into town. Now, the main thing that Stiv had said was, they liked this sort of Venetian square with all these like fancy restaurants out there and a big open space where they probably have plays and, all kinds of stuff like that in the town square. And she said, we'll probably be here. Like, we're going to sit out here and eat. When you left them, Guar had ordered a very expensive bottle of wine and was, looking forward to wasting the afternoon. I'm assuming your first instinct would be to head towards the square?
Yeah.
Okay. Troll
Yeah.
Square. Let's call it Troll Square. With only one L, because that was the founder. I don't know.
It's spelled Trole square. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Troll Square, which is not confusing at all. The square, when you get there, it's more like 5 or 6 p.m. and it's properly dark. Also now because you were up on a cliff before. To the west of you, like it is twilight for sure. If not, it's not like evening darkness yet, but
There's still a little sparkle in the air.
Yep, there's a little sparkle in there. There's the lamps, the like magical lamps are starting to fire up, and but when you get to the square, glance around all the outdoor seating. There's people sitting around eating and doing whatever, but you don't see your half-orc friends.
Did we know where they were staying?
I think they did say, yeah.
Didn't we
let's
spend
go.
the night here already?
What's that?
Didn't we spend the night here? Like, we came in on the train and then we spent the night and then the next day we went out?
That's right.
So-
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
We should know where they're staying because we stayed there last night.
Yep.
And we should still be staying there.
Yes, that's actually true. It's only been a
Or
day.
they went and stayed at the
It's
Hilton. And they
only
got
been a
like
day.
Motel 6.
Yeah, I mean, they are staying somewhere nice, that's for sure.
And they're footing the bill for us to stay somewhere nice because they need our help.
Sure.
Which, how nice of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go to our rooms. I'm sure they probably sprung for rooms near our rooms, and we'll see if we can see them.
Yeah, I think they probably, bought out a block of
Yeah.
5 rooms, and they have a little like corner of that, the third floor of this nice inn. You get back there, each of your own rooms is, just tidied up in the way that you would expect the day service to come in. Everything is basically as you left it. And there's no answer at their door.
I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna ask the innkeeper when the last time we saw them was. They last time, whatever.
Oh yeah, she's a like sort of bluey purple skin Goliath woman with darker purple tattoos on. She's like shaved head and a lot of. She definitely looks like the retired adventurer type, like your friend back at
Oh, the barkeep in Sharn.
yeah, the racist barkeep.
Yes.
Yes.
She knows better now.
Yeah, she does. She learned a lesson.
She learned that. What did we decide our name was? We have a name
Oh,
of
yeah.
our
Flip
group.
back.
But anyway,
Anyway.
this innkeeper is called Lily, and she.
Henty.
Henty.
Oh, Penty, yeah. So Lily is the owner and proprietor of the Crossed Arms Inn and Pub, and you asked her, what was it you said, Rob?
Well, when the last time she had seen Gore and Stiv?
Oh, well, they had stopped in this morning asking about the mushroom hike, and I gave them directions for that. And that was early this morning, so I haven't seen them since then.
What, pray tell, is a mushroom hike?
Oh, well, the area around here has fantastic mushrooms. There's like a dozen varieties that are all worth searching for, and there's some good hikes nearby that you could go on to look for mushrooms.
Okay.
Important question. When does your continental breakfast start?
That is an important question. Thank you.
Which continent?
This one?
Well, the bar's open, the restaurant, it's during the day. I don't know what a continental breakfast is, but we have food and drink available if that's what you'd like.
Excellent.
She has kind of a, like an entrance area, and then to the right of that is like the hotel bar, right? But it's a bar with tables and booths and, a whole restaurant, but it's that, and then the stairs up to her left, to your left, her right, go up to where the rooms are. So the whole ground floor is like kitchen, bar, restaurant, lobby, and then up from there.
May we get directions that you gave them?
Oh yeah, of course. And she pulls it's like a roll of like paper towel sort of thing, but it's scroll right? So she pulls this scroll down and tears it off and sets it down, and an area, like a ink area of the town and the surrounding, draws itself into existence on this blank scroll, and
That's cool.
and she's holding it down, looking, and she's like, "Oh, you don't need that part," and she literally like does the pinch to like for iPhone, to like move the map and shift it around, and then like draws a path with her finger.
Wow.
And says, okay, so this is the most popular path. It's a very nice hike. It's very likely that you might find people on there, but it's harder to find mushrooms because it's so popular and it's the one everyone knows about. I showed them this path. I also showed them this other path that's a little bit harder to get to, but it might be where they ended up going. They had, I don't know. And then, so she indicates this one that like, even on the map, it like shows this rocky outcropping that you have to like mountain goat down to here and then back up, and then you're in this sort of like secluded area of forest, which is not like the Shimmering Woods forest. It's much more sort of normal forest. I mean, you could see the forest surrounding the town. But yeah, she points out a couple things there. I don't know if that's where they've gone, but this path is nicer. Like, I recommend going on. It's if you don't mind the little bit of hopping and dealing with a tricky path, it's nicer, and there's a good chance you'll find purple truffles out there, which is not, that's, you could bring those back to town and sell them. I'm just saying, I'll buy them. If you find purple truffles, I'll buy them off you.
I mean, nothing to sneeze at is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Last question, and thank you very much for your help. How does the local town feel about the living dead?
I don't understand the question. We haven't had a zombie problem or anything.
No. Not like zombie attacks or anything like that, but more akin to the Undying.
Oh, like the elves?
Yeah.
I mean,
Just those ideas.
No. Have you not heard about the oh god, I can't remember the town.
Karazosh.
Claire, there is the Arendelle elves are good undead. Like they've turned themselves into undead. And so if she's saying, if we're talking about undead and she's like, oh, you mean the elves, that there are a small group of elves who make themselves undead.
Okay. I was thinking that they were like, oh, because he said undying, right. And I was thinking that they were like, oh, well, they're so long-lived, it's like they don't die.
Right. No, the undying is like a capitalized title. That
got it. And they get it. Okay.
Yeah. But you could also bring up Karazosh or Welldown, and those names might mean something to her if you wanted to bring that up.
Yeah. Have you heard of the plight of the people of Karazosh?
Is that is that the Emerald City?
Yes.
Yes, I did hear something about that. They were wiped out or something, weren't they? I mean, that's terrible. They were,
and then they were brought back, much in the fashion of the elves.
Oh, I didn't think the elves shared their magic with anyone.
It's not known where the magic came from.
Same but different?
So it's probably a necromancer then. That's too bad. What a shame.
Yes.
That's just, it's
it's
very sad.
The origin of the magic. Like, there's a lot of magic in this world, and you necessarily didn't have to be a necromancer. Benefit of the doubt, they're great people.
What, you've met people from Karazosh?
We do a lot of traveling, so we've come across, and I'm just curious about this specific city, how they might feel about those kind of people.
Oh, those kinds of people.
Phrasing. My bad.
Yep. We'll wind that back and unsay it. The innkeeper says, it's one of those things that you hear about and you don't ever expect to actually have to deal with it. I haven't personally, I haven't put any thought into it here. I don't know what to say. I want to be real sure that they're not controlled by a necromancer of some kind, and I don't know how to make sure of that.
Well,
Fair.
it was just an idle question anyway.
Yeah.
We've come across more odd things in our travels than most people, and we did come across kind of a interesting bias in Sharn, and wanted to know if it was a more widespread belief or locally isolated. But in any case, thank you for the map and for all your help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, thank you for staying. I mean, you're our honored guests to have the whole third floor to yourselves, and we're just very happy to have you here, and we appreciate your patronage. So
Great.
The rooms are pretty dragon.
Is that a colloquialism that I'm not familiar with?
I've already walked out the door.
Okay.
It's from the city.
He's just like that. Don't.
Okay. Well, have fun.
Oh, we always do. And I follow Ventuz.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a lot said in that, yeah.
All right. So we all head out to the street. It's, getting on to evening light.
Is there any I guess passersby talking about anything like goings on in the town or anything like that as we go? I'm assuming. I guess the place where to start would be the mushroom trail.
Yeah, we could certainly head in that direction while doing some research. There are some moves that might apply to this. Hack and slash, no.
No.
But I'm good at that. Oh.
I think what I'd be interested in is either a carouse roll, which is on the moves page of the SRD, and that involves returning triumphant or throwing a big party. You're sort of making your way about town. It's up to you if you want to find a way to get a bunch of people together. Some of the things involved here are you hear rumors of opportunity, you gain useful information, that sort of thing. But it does, it takes a little bit of effort to do that. If we want to have a little bit more roundabout thing, we can try to do a parlay to have what we would do is sort of like a big picture parlay where you're sort of asking about, listening in, taking the temperature of the town, that sort of thing. Does everyone have those moves open?
Do.
So with the parlay, it would be a little bit more. Sorry, what?
But it was parlay and carouse?
Yeah. And
Okay.
and we would be customizing those a little bit because they don't exactly apply to wandering through town and listening for,
What about discern realities?
Yeah, if we could talk about how you, what you're doing to make that the relevant thing, I'm open to it. So discern reality says when you closely study a situation or person, then you would roll. So I'm open to that. I just
I'm looking at carouse, and that's where we throw a big old party. And then I also have wealth and taste, where when you make a show of flashing around your most valued possession or your possessions, choose someone present. They will do anything they can to obtain your item or one like it.
Oh, okay.
So, so we could throw a party, and I don't know what I could flash around.
That's
Well,
true. I'm
I mean,
also fine with, like, if you want to take parlay, like if you want to go to something that is happening, you know, parlay might be an okay thing. It just, you won't have the leverage of being the party thrower, right? But
Right.
but you could certainly, you know, get around and say hi to people and you know, be charismatic party goers. That's fine.
Well,
or
we
it
could-
also, there might not be a move, like if you want to wander around and talk to people. I will say, walking around town, there isn't a moment where people are shouting, wow, those half-orc siblings went running through town out the northeast gate and looked like they weren't going to come back. Like, there's...
Well, I am shocked.
Right. We don't have any sort of wandering NPC gossip. So we'll have to dig for it, and it's up to you.
Can we be considered to be throwing a party if we buy a couple of rounds in the hotels inn? Because I mean, most of those have merchants and smell of desperation.
Oh yeah,
So-
I mean, I'm fine with that. The Cross to Arms Hotel is not very busy, and that might actually be what Divangor liked about it. But there are plenty of places around here that you could go to, and you know,
I mean,
do the equivalent of throw a party. Yeah.
yeah, the way that, at least the way that Ventuz was walking, he was just planning on going to the Mushroom Kingdoms.
The trails.
Whatever you said, I said what I said.
Okay.
And then, but you know, if anybody
if-
wants to stop him and be like, no,
Yeah,
this
no,
is a better
Nyx is
idea.
gonna be like, Ventuz. They didn't go mushroom shopping, okay? We're here. Remember why we're here? Do you remember why we're here?
Oh,
They're not
I
gonna go.
remember,
They're
but
not gonna go off into the forest when they're waiting for us to come back, okay? So if they
a
left,
while.
if they
like a-
left, it's probably a problem.
Yeah, okay.
There's
Okay.
probably something going on that we need to figure it out.
Okay, so why don't we just break into their rooms, see if they have like stuff for us, see if they bought anything for us, and then go back so we can ambush. Because that's the only reason we came over here, was to check in with them and see what they got going on. If they're not here, I don't want to spend time trying to find them, because that's going to mess up the ambush, like checking out the ambush tomorrow.
But if there is no reason to ambush because our friends who brought us here are dead,
Oh, I'm going to do all that I can to destroy that elemental, regardless of payment, and regardless for whom.
absolutely, and I am 100% with you. I just feel like he's gonna keep, because we're not doing this until tomorrow, and we don't know where these guys are, and we should probably find them. Like, I'm concerned that they may not have left on their own. I'm concerned they may have been taken somewhere or coerced into something that they're, you know, they knew that we were coming back because we sent them. Remember, we sent them a message a couple hours ago before I took a nap.
True, but they never sent anything back.
Exactly.
So that means they could have been gone for hours, which means it might take us hours to find them. And frankly, I would rather have a good night's sleep so that we can go in early tomorrow and just handle our business and handle what we need to handle and then pick up with them later. Because look, there's a couple of things that have happened. Number one, they aren't here anymore. And if that's the case, they're either alive and undead or dead and dead. And what we do here and now isn't going to change either one of those things.
Okay. Well, so you think what you think, and I think what I think. Let's see what Alaebas and Zay have to say.
as much as I think it would be good to just keep our eye on that one prize of trying to ambush the train, like I do feel an obligation to look for them.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still generally care about their personal safety. And am all for trying to find them once we accomplish what we need to accomplish. But we know there's something happening tomorrow. Like that is for sure. Like that has been written in the stars and will come to fruition, that there is for sure something happening tomorrow.
So where were you going? You were going to go look in the mushrooms?
I was just going to wander around and see if I saw anything around there, see if they went that way. Yeah.
Well, so
I mean, I have a map.
Why don't we wander and look and see, like, if anybody saw them?
Sure. Let's take a couple hours, but I don't want this to be like an all-night thing.
All right.
Okay, we'll assume Zay is pensive for the moment and is willing to go along for a walk. So
maybe they're having a. Don't they have the thing where sometimes they have feelings that are not theirs?
Oh, yeah, they could be having a conversation with their ring.
Yes.
Well, they are back,
well,
so they can tell us.
All right. So, Pooja, the group is loosely talking about taking a walk through the mushroom trail to see if your friends wandered out that way.
I am 100% on board with that plan.
Okay. So, making your way through town, there's, it seems like everything's normal around town, right? This is,
I guess that's why I wanted to use like discern realities. Like, is there something out of place? Like, is there something, like, not necessarily like you said, like anything super specific.
Yeah.
Like, are there people?
Well, the thing is, like, we might not even need a roll. Just tell me what it is you're doing, right? Like, do you want to go interview people? Do you want to search for something? Like, don't worry about what the moves say. You tell me what you want to do, and we'll figure out the rest.
Because I think it would be more like interviewing, like just kind of like as we go along the way, like pulling up with townsfolk, like, hey, like we have some friends that we're looking for. We're kind of new to the town.
Okay.
We're new to the town, and we went and hiked some trails, and now we're back, and we can't find them. Like, have you seen anybody that gives description?
Sure. The first couple of folks you come across are a couple of goblins out for an evening stroll, holding hands, and they are very short. They're like 3.5 feet tall. So
that's not very short. That's average.
Nope. I guess it's average for goblins, but they're they're dressed like there's a local sort of garb here, and they're in one is in like kind of a business type suit, and one is not a fancy party dress, but like let's go out to a nice dinner dress, like date night dress, and they stop and look up at you like, yes, what I'm sorry, what were you asking me?
Oh, we just got back from the trails over there, and we have some friends that we were supposed to meet up for dinner, and we can't find them. We were just looking to see if maybe you saw them.
Oh, well, what do they look like? We were just going to the square for dinner, so we haven't been in there, but what do your friends look like? They also, these two, they seem very invested of like, like small town helpful folk, who like, oh my gosh, what, your friends have gone missing. What's happening?
They're heavily clothed, probably in like some sort of cape and cowl.
Okay.
Probably about this height, pretty broad-shouldered.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you said there were two?
Yeah, two of them. Maybe quiet, you know.
Two broad-shouldered, cloaked, quiet people. I can't think of anything.
Half orcs.
Half-orcs. That's interesting. There aren't very many half-orcs in the town.
Hence
It was
the
a brother
cloak.
and sister.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Gosh, I think we saw somebody like that at lunch in the square. There was, Yeah, and so the guy, or at least the one in the suit, we'll use him. He turns to the lady goblin that he's with, and he says, when you were gonna go to the restaurant across the way and ask them about their arrangements for the party, did you see anyone out? And she's very thoughtful for a moment and thinks, I do remember seeing somebody, but they were just sitting out having lunch as far as I recall. But I do remember a couple of folks in dark cloaks with their hoods down though, and a man and a woman sitting there, and they were half orcs that I didn't recognize. That might have been your friends. They were eating at
Joe's.
What?
Joe's. Sorry, terrible joke.
Oh, okay.
Eating it.
They were eating at Joe's. That's what you said. Okay. They were eating at Lofro's.
That sounds like it could have been them. You didn't happen to see where they went afterwards?
They were still there when I left.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Yeah, good luck. Hope you find them.
Let's start walking that way.
Well, we should.
Right,
Yeah,
thank
let's
you.
go check out Jothro's.
Yeah, Lofro.
Lofro.
Like Froyo, but Lofro.
Lofro.
Um,
So Lofro, you can't hear you.
oh Lord.
You brought that on yourself.
Yeah, I did. I had to come up with a name all of a sudden. That's always a disaster. The restaurant looks like it is run by a human family, because it looks like the folks who are running this have this like really similar ruddy skin and strawberry blonde hair, and the guy at waiting to seat people, like the host and the cook and the waitress and the bartender have like these very similar features. You're like, okay, this looks like we understand what's happening here. When you get there,
just saying it's a family run restaurant, or are you saying that, are you trying to apply some kind of incestuous undertone?
oh, I didn't mean to imply that, if that's what came off. I'm sorry if I made it creepy. That wasn't what I was trying to do. No.
So it's a family place.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Got it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Did I say it in a weird way? That's not at all what I meant.
It was. There was
It was
something that you
extra?
were implying. Yeah, it was very extra. Way to be extra, Jason.
Yeah, okay.
Stop being so
I was trying to
extra.
be descriptive.
Whatever.
So anyway, yeah, the folks running. Oh, it turns out the goblins had mispronounced the name of the restaurant. It's Lafro's. When you get there, because the host is like, "Welcome to Lafro's. How can I help you?" Party of four, is it?
Actually, we're just looking for some friends of ours. They were eating here earlier. It
Oh,
was
well,
a brother and a
just opened
sister,
up for
half orc.
dinner.
Yeah, it was just earlier today.
Oh, during lunch?
Yeah, for lunch.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who did you say?
Brother and sister, half orcs.
Oh, yes. There was a man and woman here earlier. Yeah, I remember them from lunchtime. Made it through
Did
a
you
couple
see-
bottles of wine, actually. No, never mind. Forget that I said that. That is inappropriate. That's in character. He's saying this, right?
Oh,
Well,
it's
it
okay.
may-
I do. They can hold it. So
Okay, yeah, good. I mean, I didn't mean anything by it. Sorry. They were lovely.
Did you see where they went?
Yeah, it seemed like they were in a bit of a hurry when they did finally finish. They headed that way, and it kind of points east through the town. Now, coincidentally, that is also the direction that the hikes are in. They're out on the east side of the town, but it's all like you're in the middle of a big town like this. It's not immediately obvious that that's where they went. But yeah, they were in a hurry for some reason. I didn't really pick up why, but they. Yeah, you said they're missing?
no, we were just supposed to meet up with them, and they, weren't there.
Oh, I
And
see.
if they got held up or anything, figured we'd track them down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were going to meet up for dinner. So I
Okay.
think there might have been taste testing here to come back for dinner,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Good luck finding your friends.
Do you have anything
Thanks.
to go? Like pocket food? Food I can eat on the go?
Not really.
Thank you.
We're not a grocery.
Some people just cater to mobile clientele.
That's not us. And he is a little snooty about that. That part should come through.
I'm a little snooty about that.
You're a lot snooty about everything.
Nyx puts their hand on Ventuz's shoulder and says, "Come on, I'll get you something from a cart over here."
Oh yeah, there are plenty of vendor carts around the square.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to go to one, and I'm not going to take my eyes off of Lafro's while I order my food and pay for it.
Okay.
I'm getting a little bitter. I should be sleeping, getting ready for tomorrow. We have a train to attack.
Does Ventuz order nuts?
Oh,
No, I don't think I do.
that's. I feel like
It's just a dirty stereotype.
Stereotypes are hurtful.
yeah.
Yes.
So we pick up some snacks. We start moving through, and if you head straight east from the square, you're sort of moving. There are like 3 ranks of restaurants, and then there's the town square at the south side of the square, and then there's restaurants east and west and restaurants across the north side of the square, right? This Lafro's is almost in the middle of the northern part of the square restaurants. And so heading east, you head straight along there. And, you go between where some of the restaurants are on the east side of the square, and you start heading through town. And there are some scuff marks on the cobblestones here. You get to what is not quite an alleyway, but is definitely a back street, and you can see there are like some trash heaps that have been strewn across the way, yeah, it just seems like this town is tidy. Like there's a lot of civic pride here, and to find a part of the street where there's just trash spread across the street is pretty unusual.
Does it look like it's been there for a while, or is this like a recent kind of?
No, it looks semi-recent. You'd have to take a closer look to know for sure.
Discern reality?
Yeah. Who's taking a close look?
Nyx will.
Okay.
Nyx is, yeah. So how do we do this?
Discern realities is a wisdom roll. And then you'll get some number of questions.
Oh man. Oh, I lost my. If I have a 16, no, I'm sorry. If I have a 14, what's my modifier?
I think +1.
It is a +1.
Yeah.
And it's 2d6, right?
Yep.
Uh, 3.
Okay. That's great.
There was a 1 in front of the 3, right?
13.
No.
We're
Okay.
good. We're expert role players.
Yeah. So you go investigating through the heaps, and you're finding various things. You're like, oh no, this is just trash, but like, what is the pattern? You're trying to find the pattern, and like half a dozen pixies come up out of, like, you kind of shift some trash around, and you shift trash out of the hands of several, and we're talking like 6-inch tall, like classic, like Tinkerbell type fairy pixies, but kind of like vicious looking, right? Like sharp teeth and claws, and humanoid, but like, not cute. I guess it depends on your definition of cute, but they're not like Tinkerbell. They're like the nightmare that Tinkerbell turns into. Were fairies? Waries? No, that's nothing. Okay.
I'm very wary of them though, because I don't like tiny things, so I'm going to take 2 steps back. So I don't accidentally smash.
Yeah, the elephant afraid of the mice.
So are they like hulked out?
Also,
like,
stereotypes
They're like wayfairies.
What'd you say, Pooja?
Oh no, I was just saying, call back to stereotypes are hurtful.
Oh yeah. So what happens is you're moving stuff out of the way, and you move stuff out that like a couple of them were holding, and you like knocked it out of their hands, and they just they're like hissing at you and getting ready. Like the 6 of them are getting ready to like attack. I mean, they look hostile.
Okay. So.
And this is something anyone can react to. This is a real obvious thing that's happening. They all kind of glow in the dark a little bit, different colors. A couple of them are sort of like hazy purple, and you realize it's the dust around them. They have a little bit of that like Peter Pan fairy dust.
Like a purple haze?
Yeah. Well, some of them are purple. Some have a yellow haze. Some have bluish haze.
Would using trap expert help me at all with this?
I don't think so. Well, what does it say is the triggering event for that move?
When you spend a moment to survey a dangerous area, that's the triggering.
Oh. Well, you do have half a second to survey the pixie situation, but let me check that you actually do. What is everybody else actually doing? So, Ventuz, you said you're taking a quick step back. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm also listening because I can comprehend all spoken languages. So as long as they're not feral, I could probably understand what they're talking about.
Okay.
But I did the
actually
quick
saying anything yet. They're just like spitting and hissing.
Got the ears going.
Yep.
But I am taking a bunch of steps back, going, oh nope. Like, don't want to step on anything.
Mm-hmm. Pooja,
Alaebas is going to step forward.
Oh, okay. Alaebas steps forward, doing what?
Just kind of being imposing, but not like reaching towards a weapon yet.
Okay, so like next to Nyx?
Nyx, yeah.
Okay, and what's Zay doing?
I'm gonna. Zay is gonna be like, hey, I keep seeing these things that I've only heard about in stories. And go towards
lore?
them.
It sounds like
I would
you
love
know
to.
something about them.
I wanna spout some lore.
Okay.
You're gonna spit verse.
I hope so. Do you rap, Pooja? No? Okay. Well, I don't know. It's worth asking.
When someone asks you if you rap, you say yes.
I say no. I know that I can't, and I will not pretend.
You know, if you're gonna ask me to drop some wisdom, I don't want to go all Aaron Burr up in here. So
yeah, fair enough.
Honesty is the best policy.
And in fact, we have to drop intelligence, not wisdom, on this. So if you wouldn't mind rolling plus intelligence.
2d6. I rolled an 11 plus my intelligence is more than that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Okay.
It's a 13.
Okay, good job. On a 10 plus, the GM will tell you something interesting and useful about the subject relevant to your situation. Much like the mantids, this type of pixie is not, they look like people, and that's what sort of tricks people sometimes, but they're more like, they're closer to piranhas than people.
They're street piranhas.
Yeah. Yeah, they are sparkly, glittery, like when their mouths are closed, they're lovely, right? They're very pretty. But then, they have these like fit together like shark teeth, kind of just horrendous mouthful of death.
So they're tooth pixies?
No.
It does say on a 10 plus, the GM will show you how these facts can be immediately useful.
Right. So, the thing to know is if you can disrupt their like dust clouds with like a significant gust of wind or something like that, like they're temporarily down, like they're like not unconscious, they're disoriented, right? Does that make sense? So
yes,
like a gust of wind spell is pretty effective against them. Also, like a well-aimed broom, but that's like when 1 or 2 has gotten into your kitchen, right? Not
that's
6.
like when you're trying to shoo a pixie out of the chimney flue,
right?
Versus half a dozen well-armed, angry street pixies.
We like use ropey and like fold it over and kind of just be like. Whoosh.
Well, I mean that'll be up to Ventuz if we want to get into something like that. But I just wanted to get this kind of immediate reaction. So we know Nyx and Alaebas are kind of stepping up. Ventuz is doing a quick step back because tiny things. And Zay, this pops into your mind. I think you had the traveling family, right? You were the traveling Wilburys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love them. Well done, Jason.
This was a thing. There were like parts of the country that you're traveling through, like, okay, we're in pixie country now. Everybody be careful. Like when if you're going to pick up a rock, it's like parts of the country there are snakes, and other parts of the country there's bears and wolves. And then this is like, you have traveled through pixie country before, and
you're in Fairy Town now, boys.
Yeah. No, like one of your parents always had like a gust of wind spell on hand. Because it would just like, like scatter their glitter dust, and then they're disoriented and they have to lay there until they can gather their dust back.
If you have a wind spell, now is the time to use it. Otherwise, I can try to wind slash next turn.
Yeah. Don't you have like a...
I have a wind slash.
Yeah, I thought so.
I just used my turn, so.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to.
Do you draw your weapon?
Yeah.
I
okay.
don't have anything I can do with wind.
Okay, but we all do see Zay draw their weapon, so it's like a rapier, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I do say, like, they're feral.
Okay.
Watch out for the teeth. And once again, if you have a wind spell, now is the time.
Okay. So, checking back to Nyx and Alaebas, you two are kind of the front line here. So what are you two doing? Now, checking trap is kind of applicable to what's happening because you're in the middle of a dangerous situation that could go a couple different ways with your thieves' tools. Also, Alaebas, there are lots of things you could do in this situation. So
if I did the entanglement, would it get more than one?
Due
to their size?
I'm not going to say ahead of time. I think if you rolled well with entanglement, you could get more than one. But you're going to roll with disadvantage because they're little, right? Like entanglement's great for picking up. Even like a 3-foot tall target is a bigger target than this. Like these are tiny, tiny targets. And what you've got to work with is like hanging planters and a like sad tomato plant on the side of the house, you know. So there's not a ton of plants here in this cobblestone back street.
Are we looking to fight these, Zay?
So with trap expert, I can. Do we have a hold? I think it needs a. Sorry, I'm still learning these mechanics.
Oh yeah, so you would roll to gain holds.
Okay.
And then let me jump to that page real quick. The teeth. Trap spurt. Yeah, so what happens is you roll to gain hold, and then you can spend your holds to ask the questions here. But I'm actually not, now that I'm looking at these questions, is there a trap here? What does the trap do? And what else is hidden here? I'm not sure any of these are going to be super applicable to what we're doing. So I want to come back and give Zay a chance, since Alaebas asked Zay a question. Zay, what's your reaction to that?
I'm gonna say, like, we don't have much of a choice.
Yeah, I mean, they do look aggressive. There's no doubt about that.
They're not
Are
people.
these things considered Fey?
Yes.
He had, in the old game, he had turn,
Mm-hmm.
and it was to do with Feys.
Yeah.
But I don't really see a power like that.
Well, we can wing it and, you know, do a custom charisma roll.
All
Are you
right.
comfortable with that, Jason? Like going outside of the
It's
rules?
the only mode I know. Down the only road I've ever known.
Like a Twister, you were
Oh.
Drifter.
alone.
That would be a, what's my charisma? A 9.
Oh, okay. 9. 9 is good. None of the rest of you are like
So he would.
wholly connected, right? Like Ventuz, you have magic, but you're not like a holy man kind of thing.
No,
No.
because of Alaebas and us traveling together, I treat my same connections to magic the same way, but it doesn't come from the same place.
Right. Yeah. So I'm not going to allow a help roll in this case. Is why I was checking. But a 9 is a hit. And I think what we can do is All right. So I think what I'm going to do is either you could choose what's going to happen, Eli. Either you knock 2 of the 6 out, right? Like your magic goes out there and just like their dust like shatters and rains around them, and then they just drop to the ground, disoriented. Or they all 6 of them are like pushed back a little bit, and your group is going to have the equivalent of 2 armor, which is just 2 damage reduction, because they're like your group is protected from the Fae in this way.
I would take the 2 armor.
Okay, great. That's good because these things are vicious.
Sweet.
Oh, thanks.
I'm
Yep.
trying to tell you. They're street piranhas.
So I think this is probably good timing for Zay to get in, because you were getting ready to do your wind strike thing. So why don't we go ahead and do that, Zay?
Okay, I'm gonna roll.
And I would think that like Alaebas has like a holy symbol on his armor, and then he kind of like clutches that symbol, and then it starts to like light up with like colors of each of the seasons as he's like praying, and then once he gets done with his prayer, then it just kind of like emanates out over the pixies.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Nice. I rolled a 9 on my wind slash.
Yeah.
So that attacks at near range with blades of cutting air.
Uh-huh.
And
You get to
I'm
apply
gonna-
one technique, and you choose one of the following.
And I'm gonna say that I have to move to get a clear shot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I
Placing
have
you
to
in
like,
danger.
yeah. and I have to like step around Nyx and Alaebas just based on where we were,
Sure.
putting me kind of in a weird situation there. But I do deal my damage, which is a D8.
Okay. I'll just apply the same damage to all of them.
3.
Okay.
That could have gone better.
Also
But
could
I
have gone worse.
also get to.
At least you hit. At least you
I
hit.
know. I get to apply one technique.
Yeah. Did
and
you
I
have to
am
pick
going
some of these techniques, or do you just have access to all of them?
No, I picked them as part of my character
okay.
creation. So like, if anybody's wondering, I have freezing, galvanic, burning, and torrential.
Oh, yeah. Well, torrential would kind of do the job, I think. If you were trying to engage that, like, blow away the dust thing.
And that's what I'm thinking about. So my attack ends with a flurry of strikes that your opponent must dedicate effort to blocking or avoiding.
Mm-hmm.
If they instead attack you in response, I deal my damage again.
Yeah. So that's what it is. They are trying to attack you in response.
And so I shall deal my damage again.
Yep.
Which I don't know if that means I roll again or if it's just the same damage.
No, roll again. Unless you want to do 3. I'll give you
can
3
always
or
get
roll
worse.
again.
It doesn't matter.
You roll the
one
3?
way or another
I
because
love
I
it.
rolled a 3.
Okay.
Oh no!
All right.
Some things are just going to be the same.
You know, that's
As
real.
much as we try.
Some things are just role-playing truths.
You know,
One of the things I was thinking about how to write this up. I was just cogitating on this the other day. I see a lot of people post like, the thing that I love about D&D is telling this cool story, or the thing I love about D&D is that moment where the monster is whatever and blah blah blah. I'm like, you like role-playing games. Not like, you're describing every role-playing game, not D&D. Like, I just want more people to play things that aren't D&D, which I mean, hopefully it seems like D&D might eventually get their act together, but
It would be nice.
Yeah.
Because honestly, there is not another system that I have played that has had as deep of a spell system as D&D
Yeah.
does.
There are a
And
lot of things
that's
I
what
like about it.
miss.
But anyway, you slash through the air. You don't actually make contact with any of the individual pixies, because it's sort of like when you go to swat a fly and it like flies. The air pushes it out of your hands. But you slash through them, and you apply the torrential. You're gonna trade blows with them, so they are doing damage to you.
Just 1 second. Can I
Uh-huh.
do a thing where like I use my rapier to like Zorro like swash in the air, and that's what makes the blades of air that go to them.
Yeah, but maybe it's a W for wind.
It's like a it could be a Z for Zay.
Z for Zayd,
Yeah,
Jason.
Zayo.
So it's
Zayo.
like so I just have, and it's just a really big, so that like these blades come out like
Yeah.
these like air, like the wind comes out of the motion of the rapier,
Yeah,
except more than it should.
yeah,
'Cause
sort
magic.
of slicing the wind, so to speak, or breaking it even.
Well done. Well
oh, jeez.
done.
It's Father's
Your
Day.
students
If I don't make a fart joke on Father's Day, I don't know even, like, what am I supposed to do?
What even is life?
Yep. Okay, so you had the 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna trade damage with them. They're gonna do, I think I do roll for this. 4, -2 for Alaebas's help, and if you have armor, you can stack that.
Okay, so that's 1 then that they do.
Okay, so you have 1 armor normally?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you take 1 from them out of many more hit points than we thought. So that's That's good.
This is like a much better situation than it would have been last game.
Yes.
That's all
yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna say.
glad we got that sorted out. We had some, hey folks, by the way, listeners, watchers, whatever, if you go to our forum, happyjacks.org/forum, you can get involved in all kinds of conversations about all our shows. And that's where this came up, actually, was someone on the forum was like, hey, Jason, you did this thing wrong. Could you not? They were actually very nice about it was Hills
It was a great post.
I forget the name of the user, but they were extremely nice in giving feedback because Happy Jacks fans are the nicest. But I really appreciated getting the feedback on some of the things that we could tweak to get right. So,
And there's also, I think somebody brought it up on the Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, you could go to the Happy Jacks website and
another good point.
Find a link there. But know that by listening / watching us right now, you are the best people.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Because Happy Jacks fans are the best people.
It's true.
That's been my experience.
And always have been.
Okay, so the Z / forms in the air between you and the pixies. It blasts forward these blades of wind, and with the amount of damage you dealt, one of them just flies straight back against the brick wall and doesn't literally splat, but it hits and just the dust everywhere. And when it falls down,
like when you throw a chalk bag at the wall.
Yeah, when it falls off the wall, there's like a pixie-shaped silhouette of like purpley blue dust out from there.
Modern art.
Sunburst pattern. But the other 5 are struggling to get around. Some of their dust has been scattered, but they try to go up your sword arm, right? So one of them is grabbed on, and that little bit of damage that got through is... One of them is literally attached to your forearm, your sword arm. The other 4, you were successfully, defending yourself, but you are now the center. I keep bumping my table and my camera goes wild. You are now the center of attention for 5 pixies, one of whom is attached to your forearm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And the one on your arm, I don't know how you feel about pink, but this one is like pinky fuchsia colored glitter, and you're going to be...
This offends me. It is going to be hell to get rid of.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You will be finding that
I will have
a year
to
from
burn
now.
my clothes.
Yeah.
And your fur.
I don't have fur.
Oh,
Not
I thought
if you don't
chickens
want
had
to.
fur. No, that's true.
I mean, I could have fur, but like, you don't want fur and glitter. Fur and glitter don't mix.
Oh,
That's
for
what I'm saying.
They mix, in fact.
Yeah.
They mix
Yeah, you have to-
forever.
You have to become a reptile for like 2 weeks to get that stuff out of your skin.
Don't want.
Or
Like
maybe like
molt.
squid. Go live underwater for a while.
Tempting.
Yeah.
Jason, keep cracking jokes.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
the
never
Kraken are our
occurred to me
friends.
whether a changeling could turn into something that had gills.
No, actually you can't. You'd have to turn into I mean, you could turn into a squid. You just still have to breathe air. So a dolphin would probably be more, or a killer whale or something.
I was thinking like a dolphin, a water mammal would probably be better. Okay.
The
There are spells
changeling.
that could fix that, though.
Oh yeah, like a proper polymorph spell or whatever. We're way off
No,
topic.
I mean like a breathe underwater spell,
Yes, absolutely.
and then I could go hang out with Kraken friends.
But let us, let's
We
check back in.
digress.
Let's check back in with Ventuz. What is your take on this situation?
There's a lot of dust going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm seeing the little lightning bug people getting swirled around. I've seen people use wind and stuff, so I think that's probably the best way to do
I
it.
think Zay even said it out loud of like, if
She
you
may
have a
have-
wind
yeah,
spell,
they may
now's the
have.
time.
That's true. You're right. They did. I don't have a wind spell. So, knowing what I know of magic, do I think a targeted dispel magic would break their natural pufferiness?
Yeah, that would be. I mean, you could probably only target one of them.
Okay.
If you want to roll with disadvantage, I'll let you target 2 of them and take the same effect for both of them.
So there's 2 people debating this. There's Rob, who always wants to roll with disadvantage because it amuses me.
Yeah. And D6
And then
love
there's-
you.
Yes. And then there's Ventuz, who isn't Rob
Well,
and
but,
would like to be effective.
okay, but here's the in-character question. Ventuz has had some pretty substantial experiences in the last 12 hours. Does Ventuz feel the power of, like, I could shut down 2 of these, no problem. Flick, off. And do that? Or is Ventuz still that more sort of careful, cautious, conservative character?
I think Ventuz is just more tired and frustrated.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if that makes me the best conduit for the magic, but I will say that Ventuz has a connection with Zay, and seeing the one pixie, like, you know, trying to scale their forearm like Mount Everest
Mm-hmm.
probably bothers me the most.
Okay, so you want to try and dispel on that one.
So I am gonna try to go dispel on that one.
Okay, I like that.
I'm gonna trumpet at it, and that's how I'm going to
Trumpet at it.
trumpet.
I thought you were going to trump it, and I was like, ooh, that's not a verb I want to define.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna roll.
Yep.
2d6.
you're going to blow your horn.
Oh, let's do that.
I
Yeah.
rolled an 8,
Okay,
and in order for me to cast a spell, it's charisma. My charisma is an 18, which I think is a +4, so that would be a 12.
yeah, or
right?
it's at least +3. I think it's +3, but that's
Is
still...
it +3?
Yeah,
Okay, it's +3 then.
yeah, +4s are real rare in a PBTA.
Okay, so it's +3.
But still, that's great. That's, what, 11 or something?
Yes.
Okay, so what does your dispel say?
Oh, hey, I should read that. Sorry, I have papers. Dispel magic. Choose a spell or magic effect in your presence. The spell rips it apart. Lesser spells are ended. Powerful magic is just reduced or dampened so long as I am nearby.
Yeah, so an individual pixie is relatively powerful, like, compared to, like, you know, dispelling a minor illusion or something. But yeah, you target the pixie on Zay's arm, and it the dust doesn't blow back. This, like, pinky fuchsia dust just turns gray and rains down as this thing goes limp and falls off of their arm.
That might make me a little sad.
It's not dead. You can see that it's moving, but it's just like
Okay.
on the ground.
It's not having a great day.
I had this question earlier, and I can't remember what we said. What do Zay and Nyx look like by default? What's sort of your default setting? Because it's not usually the changeling face.
Yeah, no, Nyx. Oh,
Like an
Nyx
older lady,
decided-
right?
oh, so you're like the true appearance?
Well, like, what do you look like right now? That's what I was.
Right now Nyx looks like Tilda Swinton as Gabriel in Constantine.
That's right. Thank you. I remember
Yeah.
you talking about that. And Zay.
Is currently going under the assistant, a little bit hoity-toity personage with, like, the sleeve of their top reveals a portion of their dragon mark, like, just enough to make you think that it might not be aberrant.
The assistant, is that a character or?
Oh, it was just a persona that I had picked up because I didn't want Stiv and Guar to know that I was changeling.
Oh, right.
So I'm going by a different, like, persona.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
On
But
this
are you
mission?
human or elf or?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that in this one was humanoid.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, it's been a while since I thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, we can also
So we're
just
gonna say
decide now.
humanoid, still non-binary.
Okay. cool. So we see Zay blast that sword spell out. Ventuz dispels the one that's attached to Zay's arm. It falls to the ground. What's happening next?
Oh, nope. Sorry. I just found it. Hassani is who I'm currently, my alt persona, half elf.
I have that name in my notes, but I didn't actually attach what it was about. Hosomi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hosani. Hassani, half elf.
Okay. Zay. Okay, cool. Okay, so the pixies have, one of them is totally down for the count. Another one is down for the count. So 4 of them are trying to rally and come at you. And they are looking like they have figured out that Zay and Ventuz are a pretty scary proposition, and Alaebas set up some magic, so it looks like they're going to try and thread the needle and come after Nyx. The 4 of them are starting to get into formation so they can charge through and get to Nyx.
Great. So they're not surprised, that's for sure.
No.
Is there a way for me to interject my body in between them?
Oh yeah, do you want to roll defend someone?
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, Nyx is just like ducking. Nyx is like, ugh.
I'm super good at rolling dice. And
Okay.
because I'm super good, let me check out my stat bonus.
You're going to roll plus con, which if it's 12 is going to be plus 0.
It is, yes, plus 0.
I'm surprised we put a 12 in your constitution. What are your attributes?
My strength is +1, my wiz is +1, and my charisma is +1. So I think that's where the big ones went.
Oh.
And then everything else is +0.
I think we should move.
You should have a +2 in addition to 3 +1s, though.
Yeah, because one of those should be a
16.
16.
I put it in strength.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then what else did you have?
And then my con says +1, so I think that's where the other one went.
Oh, then your con can't be 12. It must be 13.
Oh, so that'd be a 23 though.
Yeah, because you get a 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 8, I think, is what it said. So just double check that's the layout that you have. Yeah, it's 16, 15, 13, 12, 9, and 8. And 9 through 12 are all +0.
Okay. Still, with my immaculate rolling skills, I got a 5.
Okay. Is that a 5 with your +1?
Total, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is 5
Yeah.
under 6?
Yeah.
5 is definitely under
okay.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you
Do you have
sure?
enough
We
XP to
checked that?
level up yet?
Oh, that's what we're going to do at the end today. Tonight we'll level up. So,
Spoilers.
well, assuming you
let me add
survive
another
the
XP for
6
myself.
pixies in this trash bin. Trash
Hey,
pixies.
I took one out.
Yeah, you did. Two
That's
of
4
you are doing
pixies.
work.
Did anybody aid me? Maybe we could get to a 7?
Okay, well, good news. There's never a time where nothing happens. So
That's
something
not good
happens.
news. That's a lie.
With defend, when you stand in defense, so you wanted to move over and protect Nyx, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you move over there. Are you sword and shield? What's your deal?
Yep.
Okay. You move over there to get in the way of these pixies that definitely look like they're going to come after Nyx. And unfortunately, they are gonna take a shot at you. Oof, that is a lot. But you have armor, right?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, okay, so I'm doing 9 damage, minus the 2 for your spell that went off.
It's currently 5 minus, so I only take 4.
Yeah. So you have like 3 normal armor and the 2 for your turn spell? Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, you take the 4. And
I'm just hearing like he tries to like shuffle over and trips over like some cobblestone. And that's when they just like start beating up on him.
Yeah, they like grab onto the edge of your shield and they're like crawling over the shield, and the damage that you're taking is you like you breathe in a bunch of the dust and you're like seeing double, right? You're definitely on a trip at this point. It really messes with your head. I'm not going to say like officially, I think there are some conditions like disoriented or whatever, but you are like, this is a struggle right now. We see the 4 other pixies have swarmed Alaebas and are all over him. They're on the shield. They're like on his sword arm. They're just, all 4 of them are on him at this point. So what do we do?
Nix, did you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what I'm going to do.
We also don't have to stick to like a hard and fast turn order or anything. It's just, if something springs to mind, we can,
Well, I'm gonna try and like bat them off of him.
Oh, okay. So just like with your hands?
Yeah,
like punt one.
Yeah, like I if there's anything nearby that I can like swing as a club, I'll pick that up. But I think I just have daggers as my weapons, so, and stabbing the air sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah, especially with your friend beneath.
With my friend right there.
Even if you stabbed one through the heart, it's like could go into your friend as well.
Right.
So here's what we're gonna start. We're gonna do a 2-parter. I'm gonna have you roll Defy Danger when you act despite an imminent threat, because you are not like they're not directly counterattacking you. So we're gonna start with this, and I'm gonna have you roll plus Dex.
Okay, great. That'll be 6.
Okay. Now, this is something that somebody could help you with. Anybody could. So, Alaebas, you could try a Dex roll to help out. I do want somebody to roll Dexterity because Nyx is obviously trying to be precise about what they're doing. So, somebody coming in with a, swinging for the fences isn't really going to be that helpful to what Nyx is trying to do. But if anyone would like to make an aid roll by rolling Dexterity, I'm open to that.
I can do that.
Okay. And just know that rolling aid can potentially put you in danger as well.
Yeah,
I like that attitude.
Every
Every GM loves to hear that.
Oh shit! I got a 6.
What a fun day this is.
Oh no!
I'm here to witness what happens.
Yeah.
Why bother rolling
Fantastic.
things?
Oh, because what a treasure.
You're not supposed to enjoy it quite this much.
So here's what happens. I don't mean this as like to be Keystone Cops or anything, but Nyx, you get in there and bat the purple one off of Alaebas, right? The one that was like getting up on the back of his breastplate, the like clamshell armor. It's like coming up the back to like bite him in the ear, and you're like, no, bah! and slap it off of there. Just as Zay is coming up to help you, and you bap it into their face. which is right next to your face, and this just like glitter bomb goes off between the two of you. And of course, the natural.
It's an AOE pixie.
Yeah, it's the of. So I mean, we're talking like pink elephant's trip at this point. So you are still in control of your characters, but please proceed as if you are heavily hallucinating, because you are, and I may need to apply modifications to rolls depending on what you're trying to do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I think in the other game I was immune to charm because I was an elf.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still under the influence of the dust?
Would that be like a charm effect? Yeah, I think it probably is. No, it's an illusion effect.
Okay.
It's an illusion. Yeah. Because they don't want you to like them or do what they want you to do. They want to just trick you. So, yeah, I think that's the difference there. Now, the other side of that is you did get one of them off of Alaebas, and it smacks into Zay's face and then drops to the ground.
Can we still perceive reality?
Oh, yeah, it's just purple now. Everything is purple.
Everything is purple.
Yeah.
But I can still
Okay
see
with
where
that. I'll take
I
that.
can still see where the other fairies are.
Yeah, kind of.
So Nyx is just kind of doing this little like dance, looking around themselves, like, yeah. And when they see another fairy, they bat at the fairy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does anybody else have an immediate action that jumps to mind? Zay, I'm going to have you be a little bit at a disadvantage for a moment, so I'm going to check in with everyone else first.
How grouped are the rest of them? How close?
Well, they're all on, the three that are left are on Alaebas' shield. They were like trying to come over the shield to get at him.
Only because it was a wish today. I'm going to see if I can send Ropey in to try to sweep around them and tie them all to the shield.
Okay. They're very little, so I'm going to have you roll with disadvantage.
That's all you wanted. That's all you just like last time. Hey, Rob, you want to roll with disadvantage? Bastard.
You're great at D6s, though. What could go wrong?
It's not me touching it.
Well, you could pick up some dice in your house.
You shut your mouth. You don't tell me what to do. I love you. Oh.
This is the wholesome content I was looking for.
What are your 3 dice, Rob?
1, 2, 2.
So we'll have to take the 1 and the 2, unfortunately. Do you have a +4 to your attribute? To any attribute? No,
And you have a +4 in this game?
No, you cannot.
Then no, I don't. I've checked my papers and I do not.
Yeah, okay.
I've consulted with the council.
Okay, so, Rob, you successfully tie up Alaebas, and Ropey is very proud of the work that it's done. Now, the one thing in your favor is, as you're doing, you're like getting Ropey out of your bag, you're like, Ropey, go! And Ropey's like, yeah, I know what to do! I've been training for this. And as that's happening, actually, Alaebas, can you make a dex check for me, please?
Come on, level up.
You might tip over.
That would be a 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, you keep your feet, you don't fall over. Oh, also remember, yeah, everyone who's had a 6-, that's XP, right? So mark your XP for that.
Oh, hey.
Why? You've already told us we're leveling no matter what.
Yeah, but you'll still have your XP counter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean, though?
It means I am going to grant you a level at the end of the night, regardless of your XP.
Okay. Doesn't that just fill up our XP counter?
No, you will.
Can we start over?
If you have 3 XP and you're level 3, tomorrow you'll be level 4 with 3 XP.
If I
Oh.
got 2 lower than 6, do I get 2 XP?
Yes. Yeah. Every time. Every time that happens, you get it.
Every time we're awesome.
Until you get
get
to
XP.
5 XP, you can't have more than 5. You're
Okay.
supposed to spend 5 to buy in advance.
Okay.
So you can't bank them, unfortunately. If you get 5, you have to spend it before you can get more. But
And
I'm
an
also,
advance is a. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm also fine with you spending the advance in the middle of a fight. If you know, like, oh yeah, I've been waiting to take this move, 6 minus, 5th XP, spend it. I have this move now. Let's go. Like, that's fine. That is by intent in PBTA. So the rope successfully ties up your friend very effectively, and he does not fall over because he's kept his feet.
Good.
But the 3 pixies that were on the shield have, like, high diving board twisted out of the way. They jump off the shield to get out of the way of the rope. And it looks like they were kind of already in motion to dive down, and the 3 that are left are each picking up one of the 3 that's dropped to, like, scoop them up and go. Is what's,
okay.
So that's what's in the middle of happening. They're not gone yet. So if anyone wants to react to that, that's fine. If we want to just stand back and let them go, it's pretty obvious they're trying to GTFO. So what do you do?
I'm gonna use my delayed reaction to change into a squid-like creature to try to rid myself of pixie glitter.
Oh, okay. Just blood on the sidewalk there.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still around the same size.
Yes, and you can only have 2 arms and 2 legs.
And I only have 2 arms and 2 legs.
Squid, yeah. Okay, I like it.
I have 4 XP. Can I use it to do an advance?
You have to have 5.
I have to have 5. Never mind.
Yeah. But absolutely, if you get the 5th XP, you can spend it immediately.
Okay.
So I just mark the thing that you want to advance, and then you'll know ahead of time, like, okay, I've got it. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Alaebas is gonna not curse, but curse and Sylvan at Ropey,
Oh.
and like try to like get him off
Uh-huh.
because he's currently all tied up because it seems like they're disengaging.
I'll call Ropey back,
Yeah.
but I'll give you a look like that language is not appropriate.
Ventuz, you can tell Ropey's feelings are hurt.
I'm gonna let Ropey stay on my arm
Okay.
and not put it back in the backpack for a while.
Okay. It does a cool, like, it coils up your arm and around and coils down the other, so you have these, like, rope vambraces of,
Yes. Yeah, be like, you don't have to say things like that. It was an honest mistake. We've all made them. Some of them more recently than others.
Super recently.
What are you talking about?
Blip, blip, blip.
Blorp.
Blurk.
Blurp, blurp.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is you could turn into a squid here and not suffocate because you don't have gills. You have your regular breathing apparatus. So
Somehow.
what are we doing?
Biology's
We're in
fun.
we're in the
I'm
middle of
tripping. I'm apparently
So how
tripping
long is
balls.
this tripping?
Yes.
So I am dancing with the floating squids in my head.
Okay, so Nix, go ahead and
Advantage.
roll plus Constitution, and
Okay.
Zay, roll with advantage, please.
Uh, 7.
Okay.
11.
Okay, so Zay, your plan was a success, right? You successfully eject the dust from your system and managed to slurp your way out of the range of this, and you cough the rest of it out and are able to change back into your normal form by having expelled the majority of the dust. You've got a little bit of a buzz still. There's just no way out of that, but you're not tripping balls. But you have the opportunity to like change back, go get your clothes. Like, all right, let's sword.
I honestly, the way I thought of it was that I didn't think about divesting myself of any of my clothes. So I changed into a giant squid, just
Squid in
in
a
all
jacket.
the clothes.
Yeah. Okay.
And just flopped around from there.
Blah, blah.
Flop, flop,
So now
flop,
I'm in
flop,
very
flop, flop.
slimy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
But do the clothes still have the pixie dust on them?
I'm assuming that the slime divested.
Well, I don't know if you're slimy, but you have successfully gotten rid of most of it. Your actions were successful, so yeah.
You're correct. I shouldn't say slime. Don't squids have ink instead?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to ink all over the place, that's one thing.
Oh,
So
you made me ink.
so Nix, you got a 7.
Great. Finding Nemo.
Nix, yeah. No, I'm with you.
Yes, I got a 7.
You got a 7. Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
Either
Oh, no.
you can trip very hard for about an hour,
Okay.
or you could light to medium trip for the rest of the evening.
Light to medium trip for the rest of the evening.
Okay.
Microdosing.
Because they're going to be fighting to try and come back because they know something important's happening.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. That makes sense
Yeah.
to me. That's totally
But-
your choice.
yeah. So that's what.
Okay, so you come back and your default state right now is everything is a little, it's like you have pink crystal glasses on, like everything's soft and
Okay.
pink and, but you don't have extra characters running around in your vision and, the bunny rabbits talking to you yet.
There's just this kind of like, is this really real type
Right.
thing? Is that, yeah. Okay.
And it's a degree to which you're high, right? It's
Right.
like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to deal with this now. Alaebas, you had some of this in your face too, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
What am I
let's do-
adding to the roll?
What's that?
What stat am I adding to the roll?
Con.
So then he got an 11.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so you're in the same situation as Zay. You're able to like cough and sneeze and get most of this out of your system. The equivalent of like 1 or 2 drinks worth of a buzz, but other than that, nothing, not really impaired. And you don't have to drive a car, so it's fine.
Hopefully we don't have to ride a horse.
Well, not yet. And Ventuz, you never really got slapped with a pixie, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, I avoided the pixie slaps today.
Okay. So,
So he's the DD, guys.
yep. Designated
so-
dungeoneer.
Yes.
So what were you looking for when you upset all of the tiny little
Oh,
piranha pixies?
hold on, Nix, don't answer that. Do you have Slack open?
Yes.
Okay, hold on, I'm gonna message you. Is this
You can
just
also
you?
do it in Zoom.
How
Jason.
dare you? No, but I'm terrible at Zoom private message. I'm always gonna like PM the group and then group the PM and yeah,
It's a good thing you don't teach anything about computers.
yeah. This is audio poison.
Yeah, I know. Jason is intensely typing to Claire.
Right. Okay, I have sent my message.
I was looking for those. Those, do you see them? Over there. They're pink.
I look for something pink.
No. There
I don't
are
see
several splats. It looks like a medieval paintball fight just happened here.
They're over there on the floor. They're walking that way.
I'm actually gonna get down and follow her instructions.
Okay.
No, you're not on the floor. They're on the floor.
But I gotta go on the floor
No, you
to
need to
see the
look on the
floor.
floor and
Okay.
look. They're
Ventuz, hold on.
footsteps.
Ventus, roll plus wisdom, please.
Roll plus wisdom. Oh,
Yeah.
my wisdom doesn't blow as much as I thought it
Yeah,
did.
you have put yourself in a position to trigger a move here.
I rolled a 10. My wisdom is a 13. That's a plus 1, plus 2. Plus 2?
Plus 1.
Plus 2.
Plus 1, I
plus
think.
1. Plus 1.
That even if you were correct, it would still be 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, not 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1.
That's right. So 11.
11. Okay. So you are using the Discern Realities move, and you have a 10 plus. So you get to ask 3 questions from the list below.
I am going to look up that move to make sure that I'm doing it correctly.
Mm-hmm. And for the listeners, we have what happened here recently, what is about to happen, what should I be on the lookout for, what here is useful or valuable to me, who's really in control here, and what here is not what it appears to be.
I get to ask 3 questions?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What happened here recently?
A fight with pixies. No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. No. What you can see is actually the distinct imprint of footprints, and you recall the Guar had these really distinct, like, fancy boots that it hadn't occurred to you to think they would have a distinct footprint, but you're like, oh yeah, they were like kind of pointy, and then the heel had this kind of weird like half circle shape. It had a little bit of a like chunky heel, and you're like, those are definitely Guar's boots. Stiv wore these soft like ranger boots, like the not the kind that would leave much of an imprint, but you can see this really distinct boot heel and these softer footprints in like the way the dust has settled out, kind of like when you do a rubbing on a notepad. It looks a little bit like that to you, but it would not have been obvious without Nyx getting real high and pointing it out.
No, that's totally good.
See, pink. They pink that way.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad you asked that.
Me too.
The pixies have not fully retreated. They are watching you from a distance.
Okay.
From a distance.
Just like Bette Midler. Yeah.
Yep.
And then as Nyx keeps yelling at me
Pink.
to do different things, my final question is going to be, who's really in control here?
Huh.
Because I no longer think it's me.
Well, if you take proper control of the constellations, you are in control here, Ventuz. Would you like to take proper control of the constellations?
I had to make sure I wasn't muted. Yes.
Okay. So everyone, you see Ventuz's pupils dilate. Oh wait, do you have like human kind of eyes or elephant eyes? Just like big dark orbs? I don't think elephants have like sclera, right?
They're human.
Do they have whites of the eyes?
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm gonna look up
They
elephant.
do, but they don't have irises, I don't think.
Elephant face. Oh, they're just.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they've got different colored irises.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Ooh,
Okay.
they're pretty.
Ooh,
That's exciting.
yeah.
Oh man, elephants are so freaking cool.
Yeah.
This is true.
Now, for everybody at home, please make sure you also Google elephant eyes, just like we all just did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you said you had described yourself more as the African elephant rather than
The Asian, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Some of these are downright creepy.
Well, yes.
That's what mine are about to turn into.
Well, it's also because elephants are intelligent, and like looking into their eyes, like there's a person in there, and that's upsetting sometimes, I think.
Some of these look like the Eye of Sauron.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
There's a little bit of that, yeah.
Well, anyway, I think to some extent, Ventuz has a visible eye reaction, and oh yeah, look at that. Okay. Well, the three of you see a pink iris, just like pink points with big, like the rest of the area of the eyes are dark. And in a flash, Ventuz, you have this top-down view, and you sort of screen across the top of the city, and you find a little, like, a stable tucked away at the edge of the town before you go into the woods hunting for mushrooms. And you can see Stiv and Guar huddled up in the stable, and they're talking about something. You can't hear what they're saying because you're like up above and seeing through the roof of the stable to see that they're in there. And then your vision snaps back. Now, there will be a cost for that. We'll get to that later.
All right. I'm an ATM, man.
Yep.
Some stuff gets deposited, some stuff gets withdrawn. Whatever you got.
All right. So, but there is a moment where we're standing there watching Ventuz completely zone out. What is everyone's reaction to that?
Have I seen this before in our travels?
Never.
I'm just going.
Well, okay, that's fair. Yep.
Did he have that same glaze over when he was in the Time Shack?
Kind of, but not with the pink pupil.
Alaebas is intrigued. Like he has like a Are you there, Vin?
No, he's like, no, man, he's gone. He's gone. Hey, Ventuz.
Oh yeah,
and I'm
Nix.
like tapping on his trunk.
Nix, you could see Ventuz is just flying through the air. Is like flapping his arms.
Yeah.
I don't have a magical feather. We've tried this. It doesn't work.
None of that is actually happening. That's just what Nix sees.
Hey man, come on, share some. Damn.
I'm free.
Is Nyx like really tapping on Ventuz?
Yes, Nyx really is tapping on Ventuz.
I don't think we should be doing that to him.
Oh, I'm just trying to get him to come back down.
Where did he go?
Where do any of us go, man?
Zay, what are you doing in this situation?
I'm gonna get up really close to his face.
Mm-hmm.
And see if because the tone shifted pink, I'm assuming that it's a fairy effect.
Mm-hmm.
And see if I can blow on his face to get the residual pixie dust off.
Yeah, it looks like there's some dust in the folds of his eyelids. So maybe.
I'm gonna blow directly onto his face.
Okay. Let's roll. Do you cast spells? You don't cast spells, right?
Yeah, the Arcane Duelist doesn't really have a lot of spellcasting power. Though technically I still have an Aberrant Dragon Mark, so if you want me to use that,
oh yeah,
use that with the, possibility of things going.
No, I like that. Let's do that thing. What did your Aberrant Dragon Mark do before?
It used to do a Chaos Bolt and something else.
Please roll plus Charisma.
Oh,
that's not going to be great. No, it is going to be great.
This is amazing.
I got a 2.
Oh, it's even better.
Yay!
Did you get legit 2 1s?
We're like Meet the Robinsons. You failed.
Oh my god.
And let me also roll.
What'd you say, Eli?
I feel like we really are Keystone Cops.
Oh no, this is great. It all advances the story.
It does, but we're real good at it.
Also, I'm really bored now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. So you go to, try to blow the dust out of his eyes, and it works, but it doesn't actually blow the dust away. The dust turns to this like almost black gray dust, and you could feel your mark get kind of hot against your skin, and then even the pink dot in Ventuz's eyes goes away, and they just go completely matte black, like you can't even see an eyeball, and it's like looking into the stars. They're like dark with like a star field in the eyeball area.
Well, cool. Did what I set out to do.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm not really in the mood to sit around and wait for Trance Boy to wake up again. So I'm gonna wander down the alleyway some,
Okay.
and see if like I can see anything else that happened, like anything that might be a little bit more interesting.
Ventuz, can you
what's
roll
going on
plus
here.
con, please? Constitution.
I rolled a 12,
Oh, great. Okay.
and my Constitution. No, don't jump the gun.
Oh, you
Just
got a
calm down.
minus? It'd have to be -3 to make a difference.
No, it's plus, so that just means I got more than a 12.
Oh, okay. Then we're done talking about it.
No, respect the dice, respect the rules. That's what
Respect
I'm
the
all about.
time of our gaming slot.
You're a dirty slot. Now let's keep going.
I'm fine with that. That's not an insult. So the your perception draws back. It's not like disorientingly fast. You just drift back in a way that like you couldn't have stopped it if you wanted to, but you're just like whoop. You get pulled back to yourself. And you can see very clearly and very sharply in the evening light, but everything is in black and white.
Oh.
Sort of like if you were viewing it by moonlight.
Gotcha.
But you are intellectually aware of the fact that there's light coming out of that restaurant over there that is definitely not just white light, right? It's probably
Yeah.
the yellow of candles and lanterns and that, but everything is like moonlight to you.
Okay. Well, as long as I can still see clearly.
You can actually see more clearly than usual. Maybe even the first indication of like, oh, maybe I should have had reading glasses. Like,
Maybe.
yeah, no, your whole vision is sharpened up.
I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say I found them in a stable outside of town. And then I'm going to turn down the alley and I'm going to look at the pixies and I go, we're walking away. You need to stop.
Oh, okay. They're like whoop, behind the fence that they were looking through.
And then I'm going to go towards the stable.
Are you trying to speak their language?
No, it was
Oh, okay.
absolutely common.
Okay. Because
'Cause
you can understand all
I
languages.
can understand. I can't speak.
Okay.
I think Nyx is still having the effects of the dust,
Yes.
and Zay went wandering off.
Well,
down
Zay's
the
not
alley
that
to go
far
get her.
at this. I mean, it's just seconds. So
Oh, okay.
unless
Yeah.
Zay, were you sprinting away or?
No, I'm just looking for something that might be, amusing, interesting, whatever, because this isn't any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
if we
over
know
it.
where they
I'm
are.
over all of this nonsense.
Are you over finding the half orcs? Or are you just over us? Are you over this town? Or over
I'm
this whole
over all
plan?
of it. Let's just finish this so we can do something fun.
Cool. They're at the stables. Let's go.
Great.
Alaebas, can you grab Nyx? Because I don't have the patience to deal with it right now.
Hey,
Nyx
hey,
is
Nyx.
like batting at. Oh, no. Nyx doesn't see anything unreal. Oh, but yeah, Nyx is just kind of tripping out on a cloud.
Yeah. Clouds. Well, also any source of light is pretty exciting. Like
Okay.
the street lamps and stuff. Like,
Come on, Nyx, let's go.
Oh, cool. Where are we going?
We're gonna go to a barn.
Ooh, fun. Fireflies.
also, I wanted to remind our listeners, because it might not be clear, that Zay's Dragon Mark effect has we found a table of random emotions that so when Zay uses the dragon mark, it like bulldozes their emotions into like a new mode for the moment. So that's what's happening there. It's not Pooja being a dick.
I mean, I did choose to use it, and but yeah, when things go wrong with the dragon mark, they change up the way I feel.
Yeah, I just wanted to be clear that that's like a thing that we came up with for Zay. That it's not just Pooja's over
And
it.
there's an actual table. If somebody wants a picture of the handwritten note,
I want a picture. I want to know what we're in for.
Yeah.
Goodness.
No, it's very good. I like it a lot. So
I can't wait till we get homicidal.
No, that's not.
Yes, okay.
it's
that's
just
also
normal.
that's not
just
an
normal,
emotion.
Zay.
That's right. That's role playing.
Rage.
Okay, so y'all head out on this road. You don't get all the way to where the mushroom hike is because this is like on the way to that. You get about a half mile out, past the edge of town. There's a farmhouse. The lights are out in the farm, so either the family went to bed at 6 p.m. or they're off doing something else. But you find the stables. It's just kind of like an open air stable. There are no horses in there. It's just it's more like a barn, I guess. That's a better word for it. It's a barn full of hay and other supplies and stuff. And you
Are
find
there sheep in there?
Hey.
there are no sheep. There's no animals in there at all. Just Guar and Stiv. And you find them in there, and they sort of come out from hiding. They're like, "Oh my gosh, he found us." So Guar is looking extremely relieved, and Stiv mostly just looks irritated. And she says, "I didn't expect them to have this kind of reaction, or to even realize what I am. I don't know how they did that. But
Who did it? And can we go back and go to sleep?
I didn't see who started it. Somebody just knew that I'm like this. And
Where did it happen?
we were leaving lunch, and it
Because we went looking for you, and no one in that area had any suspicions. They had no idea.
Well, I don't understand what happened, but that we were hiding. I was hoping to hear back from you, but I don't have illusion magic. That's not I don't have that. And I was hoping, can one of you help us with, looking like someone else or masking us
No.
or something?
Oh, yeah. I prepare all my cantrips every time I prepare spells. So, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can. But before we get there, Alaebas, you can sense things like Fae and stuff like that. Are there other holy people that can sense the non-living or other things that are maybe not part of the natural order or new to
If
the
it's
natural order?
Depending on faith, they may have the ability to sense different types of things.
Yeah, detecting the undead is one of the more common things that, clerics or paladins might pick up on.
So that's
What would be like the big house in wherever city we're from that would have those types of paladins?
Oh, Trollenport? I mean, all the houses are in all of the big cities. It just depends on the representative. Also, the Silver Flame is represented here. This is like the next biggest city close to Sharn. So there are
Sharn,
certainly Silver Flame members here. And they have made a big deal about dealing with the undead in Sharn. So
the followers of the Silver Flame, they would have the ability to sense undead.
okay.
So it may have been one of them. It could be someone that just follows.
So perhaps we need to mask my aura more than anything. Okay.
I can't do that. I don't know how to do that.
That might be worth researching.
I know someone who might be able to.
Who's that?
hold on. And I'm going to go inside myself, look up at the image of the sky, and ask ask my buddy if that's something that he knows how to do.
He can, let's see, what's the answer you get? Yeah, he can give you the ability to ward someone's, sort of nature, but you would permanently spend a hit point to do it. It requires some blood magic. And also just wanted, out of character, check in real quick. Blood magic, something that somebody might want to X card. I'm not intending to get gory with it, but I in case anyone wants to, just putting that out there.
Did Alaebas get a sense, or like of the mushroom people, did that seem like something they may be able to do, or you just have like no kind of like knowledge of that? Or
well, they're warded, like their place is warded, but it almost seemed like an accidental ward because they're like slightly out of phase with the rest of the flow of time in the forest. So it's almost like they're warded just because they're not on the same channel, Like you have to tune into the right frequency to detect them, and that's kind of different from what we're trying to do here.
Just a side note.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Alaebas hands Gore some water, just as like a thing.
Oh,
He's
okay.
probably thirsty.
Oh yeah, he gladly takes it. He's been in that barn all day, well, half the day. Oh, thanks, man. It got hot this afternoon. Side note, it was not hot where you were, up in the woods. It was a very sort of balmy, and it rained. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice. I liked it personally.
Yeah.
How long does this hiding the nature last thing?
Until they dispel it.
Until they dispel it.
Yeah, until they don't want to be hidden.
Okay. All right.
And the voice in your mind is like, even an ounce of your life force contains this much power. Imagine what we could do.
There are possibilities. I will contact you. And then I look at Stiv and I say, it's possible, but it's gonna be a lot. This is not.
Well, what's your price? I'm happy to pay for a service. I don't expect something like that for free.
This might require more than just money. I will have to think about it. Over the next hour or so.
Okay. Well, when you're ready to negotiate a price, I have to do something, and if you have a solution, I'm interested in talking to you about it.
I look at her brother, and I say, I'd like your firstborn.
What?
I'd like your firstborn to permanently change the nature of your sister so she is never detected like this by anybody ever again.
No, I can't give you that. No. And even she like turns to him and she's like, no, don't pay that. That's not.
Alaebas would turn around too. I don't think that's an acceptable solution.
Even through Nyx's trip, they're like, Ventuz, what the fuck?
Yeah, that seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, I was trying to figure out where the final, like how much, and then just work my way back. It's a negotiating technique I've heard from some of the merchants.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nope.
Only dark people want babies. Evil people. Only evil people want babies.
Well, no. I didn't want it. I just wanted to see what they were willing to give up. I wasn't going to accept it. It just,
Well, and
it doesn't feel right.
Guar says also, my daughter is 8 and is a terror, and I don't think you want her.
That's why you should have been like, yeah, like go for it. Here you go.
Dude, your kids can hear you.
Oh, I know. She was right here.
Pretend
while I
kids.
was asking for it. So that made it super weird for me. Damn, what do I ask for?
Joke's on you. My kid's only 9 months old.
Damn.
Maybe you want to step back for a second,
Yeah.
Ventuz, and like think about things a little bit.
Rob needs to step back
Mm.
because it's got to be big, but not scary that it's gonna freak everybody else out big.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's dark enough we could probably make it back to the inn, to the crossed arms, just with our hoods up, and if there aren't any of the silver flame about, we should be able to make it
And
in
we
a roundabout
can
way.
deflect anyone. If it's not just the two of you, we can deflect anyone who tries to call you out
Okay.
now.
Hear
Yeah.
me out, Ventuz. Option.
All right, so I'm going to say the 6 of you are walking back to town. Just walking, talking quietly. They're giving Nyx some side eye. I'm like, what is going on with them?
And Nyx keeps going back and forth to Ventuz about options. And about options and he keeps saying options like gesturing to our friends. But they can't verbalize anything beyond options.
Right. Like when your drunk friend is explaining something to you 15 times with the exact same 8 words.
yes.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I hate that so much.
You've seen me parent. That's exactly what that is.
Are you the drunk friend or is the child the drunk friend?
Yes.
Yes.
So on the way back, Guar is drinking that water, kind of sharing that with you, Alaebas. Like that's you two have kind of bonded over that. He's kind of like asking you about how your day went. So the two of you are having one conversation, which I want to sort of get into.
He gives an elaborate speech about the dance off.
Okay, so you're like you're telling the story of Footloose.
Yeah.
And every time Nyx hears the word dance, they take a break from explaining options to Ventuz to do like a little Tilda Swinton version of the Mantis dance.
Uh-huh.
It was like that, and it was amazing.
But Stiv is talking to mainly Ventuz and Zay now, because they're the two who are a little bit more in their right minds. Which is not accurate, really, but that's her impression. And she's saying, okay, so what did you find up there? What can you tell me about? What are we up against?
Options.
It turns out that it's the lightning elemental on the train is psychotic.
Oh.
And can manipulate time.
What?
Also, Ventus can kind of manipulate time, I guess, now. Whatever.
And
It
just a
means
little
the
bit.
rest of us sit around for a long time and stare at him while he goes into some kind of trance thing, comes out of it, and tells us, we have to do this. And
Huh. Gosh.
I like to think it's more suggestive than prescriptive,
Mm-hmm.
I
but
don't know
she
what
might be.
part
But
of-
they might be right.
But it's also a part of the track as well, because the building that we all know about, the service building, that also has some time effect on it as well.
I see. Okay.
Either way, there's a lot of time stuff going on, and it involves a lot of us waiting around.
There will be an ambush there tomorrow, just after 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you've planned an ambush already. Okay.
I don't know if we are doing it or not, but there will be one.
I'm gonna need you to explain that.
I've seen the future.
Oh. And she kind of rolls her eyes of like, and to be clear, I think her body language is clear. It's not that she disbelieves in prophecy. She just thinks prophecy is bullshit, right? Does that distinction make sense? Of like,
Yeah.
He thinks anyone spewing prophecy is full of shit.
yeah, or just like, okay, you saw the future, but that's still not reliable information. Is like, if we could communicate that with an eye roll and body language, that's.
I mean, Stiv, his foresight did bring us to you, so there is some credence to that.
I mean, that's not foresight, that's present sight, but also now you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, that was just clairvoyance. I sensed the detection magic at work.
I'm not clairvoyant.
You were an hour ago.
I can't also see into the future right now, but I did earlier today.
As if he did, he'd get the options.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've also come to a decision. And this is your choice. I can be the conduit in which your nature can be changed, potentially permanently. It'll be your choice.
Now, Rob, to clarify,
Yeah.
you're masking her nature, not permanently changing it. You could say it that way if you want to, but that's
the way I understood it.
okay. That's fine.
So, so that if you want, no one will ever be able to sense you as undead.
Okay.
I will come to you in 7 years and 1 day for repayment. It will not involve anybody's life or anybody's blood. I cannot say more beyond that because I don't know what it will involve.
Okay. I'm open to that, but I also can't promise to agree to something that I don't know more about. If you come to me asking for 1 million rubies, there's no way I can.
It will be. I have been told it will be something that you can do. It will not be beyond your capabilities.
Okay. Well, I'm open to trying it because I need to make my way here, and you could see Guar is like, this is a terrible idea. Like, you could tell he's the impulsive one in this, sibling relationship, and he's like, what are you doing? But yeah, she's carrying on this conversation with you. Like, well, I think I understand what you're saying, and I'm willing to go ahead with that.
Okay. And then I'm going to contact my buddy.
Mm-hmm. Partner.
My upstairs buddy.
Uh-huh.
And then make the formal request.
Okay. Yeah. The star.
Was that slip up in character, or was that slip up a Robism?
That was a Robism.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to communicate to everybody around and be like, the guy upstairs. Like, I don't traditionally talk about it in that way.
Yeah. No, a ritual settles into your mind of like how to set this up, how to draw the circle, how to just a few drops of your blood, but that is going to like reduce your hit points by 1 total. And then you could set that up in your room tonight. It's not even that much trouble. It's a few candles, a couple symbols, and she has to sit there with you while you complete it. It takes an hour or so, and bim bam boom.
That's what I do.
Okay. I think that is probably going to be a good place to wrap for tonight because I still want to do stars and wishes and check-ins and all that stuff. So we are going to we're all back at the inn just to, make sure that that's all wrapped up. Is there anything we need to do besides going to our rooms, spending the night, getting up early the next day to be in the woods in time to prepare for the thing?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Can Alaebas heal himself? Does anybody else need healing?
Yeah, although you'll be healed up from sleeping, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember exactly how it works, but you're going to have a long rest. So we're just mashing systems together. So.
I'm only down 1 hit point right now, so I'm not really... Like, I figure I could recover that in a night of sleep.
Yeah, and your 4 hit points, same thing. Is not a big deal. So
I'm down 1 hit point too.
Well,
but it's not coming back.
no, you're not down 1 hit point. You have full hit points.
That's true. That is true.
Okay, so yep, we're back at the inn at the Crossed Arms, and you are settling in for the night, and no meteor hits the building. You are going to get up early tomorrow morning and row your boat ashore and levitate up the mountain, and we'll pick up there next time in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We are also coming to, that should be our penultimate episode, I believe. We have,
Already?
yeah, because this is
I thought
episode
we
6.
had
So yeah,
10.
no, we have 8. We have 8. So we're gonna have episode 7 and 8 in July, and that's it.
Well, no, Jason, we have to play for 7 years in one day.
We'll fast forward at the end of episode 8.
Oh, okay.
Your
All right.
beautiful epilogue.
Yeah, that'll be a good epilogue. But for tonight, we certainly have the opportunity to do stars and wishes. So think about that for a second while I vamp and say the things that I'm supposed to say at the end of the episode. Thank you, everyone, for watching episode 6 of the City of Towers actual play at Happy Jacks RPG Network. We will be back in 2 weeks, which is July 5th. July 5th. Thank you. And we will be back 4 to 7 again. You can check all of our past episodes, happyjacks.org/City of Towers, and happyjacks.org/shows for everything that we've ever done at Happy Jacks Network. And you can come check us out on the forum. You can check our schedule going forward at happyjacks.org/schedule. And you could check out our Discord. We're Happy Jacks RPG all over the Facebook and Twitter and the MeWe. It's real. It exists. And that's where you can find all of us. So before we say our goodbyes, what are our stars and wishes? Wait, I need a fresh Post-it. Okay, fresh
Wait,
Post-it.
you take notes on all this?
Yeah, dude.
Couldn't tell that before. What? What was that?
Rob, what are your stars and wishes for today?
Jason, thanks. My star is actually the chat room today, because I was really struggling with, okay, I want to go pushing my character a little bit darker, but I obviously jumped out and was trying to swim back and just didn't have, but they sparked some good ideas and some good thoughts for me to be darkish, like, so so that's my star.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the chat. That's always fun.
It's pretty good. The wish, I think I'm interested and confused about how advancement's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just getting a little bit of clarity on that.
Yeah.
So other than that, we're good to go, yo.
Okay. Let's go Pooja.
I am gonna give my star to Alaebas for his heroic body shield action. And then Dad cursing out Ropey.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love that he specified. He's like, I'm cursing, but not cursing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was very nice.
It's like so perfect. So that's my star for today. And then wish wise, I would love to see a little bit more of what's going on here with the person who outed Stiv, and if they're going to recognize them later by sight now that they've, chased them around. Because I did think it like so who were all those people who were chasing them through the street if we didn't encounter anyone who knew anything about it when we were in the area where they got chased from?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm like, my wish is probably going to come true, and I'm okay with that.
Okay. Claire.
Like, it was probably going to come true anyway. Is what I'm saying.
That's all right. No, that tells me what we're interested in doing.
My star. My star is going to go for Ropey because they're in a very sensitive place right now, having had their heart broken by Alaebas swearing at them.
Yeah.
So that's
really tied up in knots about it.
We got to make sure they don't unravel in front of us.
Thank you.
yeah,
I hope they're not
you
too
want
afraid.
to destroy my Ropey.
we want to make sure that they're nice and silky.
Just stop stringing them along.
Yeah.
Let's entwine some of these ideas together.
It's not funny.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. And my wish. I want to see that elemental go down.
Elemental violence. All right.
I feel like you need to add justified in there.
Okay.
Justified elemental
justified
violence.
elemental
Oh,
violence.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the standard JEV scenario. Eli.
I was gonna give my star to Ropey as well,
Oh,
adding another dynamic to the team.
Ropey +1.
Yeah.
Nyx gets no stars because Nyx was really high.
Nyx gets my star because they were really high in the stars.
I like it.
Nyx just hasn't come down yet. Nyx will still have stars next time.
Nyx is like, what? Whatever.
And my wish, I don't know. I think I'm pretty bad at these wishes because I'm just enjoying the ride so far.
Sure. I mean, it could just be like, what do you hope to see? Or, what do you, like
I feel
like Pooja said,
an
like,
Avengers type battle with whoever it is. Us on one side with some mushroom people, and Stiv and Guar and us versus whoever the bad people are and an elemental.
okay, you want the big scene. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
okay.
do it.
Cool.
When everybody just standing at each other going, "Ah!" in two lines.
We'll have a whole episode of powering up. Just
Yeah.
shouting at the sky.
Oh yeah,
Next
Dragon Ball
episode,
Z
since it's our
time.
penultimate.
Oh,
Yeah.
you could.
It's not even their final form.
I have the power of God and anime on my side. So just
Okay, well, anything else before we wrap today?
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
thank you.
Thanks everybody
And
for
happy
joining us
Father's Day.
live or later. Those are your two options, unless you're Ventuz. And we will look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. I'm going to throw the calendar up. I think it's showing the right date. If it's not, remember, happyjacks.org/schedule. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
If I told you the things I've seen on my ways. If I told you the things I've done in my days, you wouldn't believe me anyway. So it's best I just don't say. I've lived 1,000 lives, I piloted 1,000 souls, I killed and fought and died just for a single